It's the dawn of day 2 here in the relentless conditions of the Southern California desert. The riders are not only battling the fierce competition.
What an amazing race. Wow.
But the unpredictable weather here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway.
Oh, look at that. The big hit off for Braun.
Several of our top riders found themselves on the ground in day 1. Who has what it takes to risk it all and get back on the podium here for the second round of the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers? Hello everyone, I'm Zach Herron alongside Hollywood, Dave Dildine to bring you round 2 of the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. Dave, we had an incredible day yesterday to kick off the racing action. Close finishes, several crashes from top riders, and wild weather conditions. What do we think we're going to see here at day 2?
You know, Chuckwalla seemed to throw everything it had at us. At least I'm hoping that that's everything that it had. I mean, we had electronic glitches. We had bikes coming across the line without the motor running. We had a photo finish. We had everything going on. At least I think it was everything. We'll see. And it was an incredible day of racing. Some of the best racing we've ever seen with Bagger Racing League. And you know what? Now it's Sunday, and we might see even greater racing today.
Yeah, like you said, one of those races coming down to just a 1/10 of a second separating the win, and all of these riders are ready to do it all over again for round 2. We're going to get ready to drop the green flag, but first, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsors, and then we'll kick off round 2 of the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their Supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17 inch configuration. Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of opening weekend for the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shades. Zach Herron alongside Hollywood, Dave Dildine to bring you today's racing action. And Dave, we talked about it all afternoon yesterday, even after the final checkered flag. If today's racing is half as exciting as yesterday's, it's going to be an incredible day.
You know, yesterday was absolutely epic. We saw some of the best racing ever in the history of Bagger Racing League, and I was so impressed with all the amazing ways that things finished up. It was incredible. You got a full season all in one day. It was impressive beyond belief.
It was a ton of fun to watch, and it started right here in the first race of the day, our DP Brakes Liquid Twins and Drag Specialties Aircooled Twins classes, where Eric Reyes and then Alexander Calloway walking away with a win. Gilbert Conda on the 108 up there in the mix as well, today's fastest qualifier. So we've got some heavy hitters and looking to have some more photo finishes. Eric Reyes in one of our other classes came down to a 1/10 of a second, Dave. We had to go back and watch the tapes before we could even announce who took the win. That's how close the racing was.
And that is what everybody wants to see. As a fan, you want to see these close races. You want to see the best of the best battling it out. 1/10 of a second, incredible racing. We should see more of that today. We've got some beautiful conditions.
Well, let's talk about the conditions these riders are going to be facing here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. We're here in the Southern California desert. Your track map up on your screen. This track, you talked about it earlier this weekend, Dave, made to be run both clockwise and counterclockwise, and this is a track that several of these riders have experience on. However, not the counterclockwise direction that we're running this weekend. So some big bowl corners. We've got our infamous crash corner as well, that off-camber, really unique track to start the 2025 season.
And, you know, we started yesterday talking about Crash Corner and how that would be the area where the race could be won or lost. And it's ironic that that's probably the only place on the track that we didn't actually have an accident. We had crashes in all the other areas, and in talking to the riders, a lot of them, they focused on Crash Corner. They were careful there. They didn't want to lose the race there, but they were trying to make up time in some of the other corners, going in really fast, trying to come out really fast, trying to shave just a couple of tenths of a second off of their time going through these corners, and honestly, they got a little overconfident in some cases.
They certainly did. Now, we're breaking down a little more facts of this Chuckwalla Valley Racecourse. It's 2.68 miles, and today, one of the big things that we talked about yesterday was the weather. It's about 76 degrees, sunny, and low wind for the moment. That is going to be absolutely crucial, but yesterday, right around lunchtime, that wind started moving into town, so we'll see how that's going to go. Things are looking good. 17 corners on this Chuckwalla Valley Raceway course. That infamous crash corner is turns 8, 9, and 10, so be on the lookout for that area. You've got that big bowl banked corner in turn 5 as well, so these are some of the hot spots that we look for some big racing action. Now let's take a look at our lineup here for this DP Brakes Liquid Twins class. It is going to be the 108 of Gilbert Kahn out front with the pole position. He's on that Lindell Brakes Indian machine and had a really solid run yesterday, but also one of those riders that found the ground.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was all of these crashes were very actually spectacular in nature. I mean, people they were wiping out just off the track into the sand, and fortunately, you know, nothing catastrophic injury wise, but you know, a lot of bikes were beat up, and you know what? Hats off to the crews that spent all night working on some bikes to get them back on the track.
Well, and it doesn't look like the 199 of Danny Spina going to make it to the grid. He should be midway through that front row, but Alexander Callaway is up the inside and grabs the early race lead in that DP Brakes Liquid Twins class.
Wow, look at them come around the first corner there. They are just spaced out really nicely, but you can see that those just behind are looking to hunt them down.
And just behind them is our pole position and yesterday's winner from our Drag Specialties Aircooled Twins class. That's Eric Reyes. He's on that big bagger machine. He's got the white leathers, and Eric really had an impressive performance yesterday, battling for podium positions and wins multiple times yesterday, involved in that photo finish as well.
Great racing yesterday, and it was he got a great line early on, and he kept it in each and every race, and just did a great job of taking the checkered each time. So
now here's one of those blind corners. This heads into the longest straightaway of this Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, 1,330 feet they're going. So opening these bikes up big time. Then they start to get into a little bit of cautious, right? Crash corner, the infamous 8, 9, and 10. Doesn't quite do it justice, the elevation right there, but you can even tell just in the riding style. These riders showing it a little bit of respect. Is now Eric Reyes takes over the third place position physically on track, leading that Drag Specialties Aircooled Twins class.
It's really important. There's only a difference in elevation of about 34 feet in different places, but it is where that elevation is that actually makes the big difference, because you really cannot see. That is a blind reveal on that crash corner, and it is a little spooky as you come around there.
Oh yeah,
at full speed.
Yeah, and the riders talk about that as well. You got to trust your tires, you got to trust your marks. Some riders saying they're spotting certain peaks in the mountain ranges in the background, just trying to find exactly where they want to put those tires when they can't see the track ahead. So those are kind of the unspoken things that we can't stress enough, how impressive it is these riders are doing it at sometimes over 120 miles an hour. As our leaders make their way through, going to get our first lap in the books. It is Alex Callaway still out front leading the way, with Gilbert Honda just behind him. Callaway on that Toast Performance back Indian ride. Wait and get some lap time data. A 2-minute flat, 2-minute 3 for Alexander Callaway, and a 2:01.5. So, man, Callaway really setting a strong pace early.
Yes, that is a very, very fast time on this track, and especially conditions like we saw yesterday, sand on the track. Track seems a lot clearer today, but we'll see let's see what the end of the day brings.
Yeah, this class yesterday didn't quite get as much of the wind and the sand that our later races had to deal with. Things were still relatively common. This was another one of our dogfight classes. Alexander Callaway and Gilbert Kahn going at it once again, and then just behind them, Eric Reyes and Ravi Patel going at it for the lead in that Drag Specialties Air-Cooled Twins classes.
We've had some amazing battles this weekend, and it's great to just watch. It's all about the patience, though. If you are the hunter and not the hunted, you've got to have patience. It's when people get greedy and they try to take off too much time in one of those turns that they think they're really confident in. That is where we have seen some issues.
Well, and one of the things you said yesterday, going slow to go fast. That's, you know, you can throw away a position to possibly win. We saw that multiple times yesterday. Riders got a little excited. They thought they could make it happen just a little bit quicker, and they ended up getting bit by the track as well as the rattlesnakes, like you said as well. So it is very interesting to see going to be interesting to see who learned their lesson yesterday. Gilbert in a similar position, Callaway just in front of him, maybe got a little more pace, but it looks like for the moment the 108 learning his lesson and saying, hey, I want this race to come to me, not force a mistake.
Absolutely, and it was interesting to go around some pits and talk to some of the riders. And yes, there was a lot of reflection last night on what I did wrong, what I did wrong, and how I got a little greedy. So it was amazing to see how many riders actually realized that they had stepped over the line.
Yeah, and that's there's a bit of humility that comes with it as well. All of these riders are confident, right? They put in the work, and you got to have a bit of ego to be successful in motorcycle racing. But they also know, hey, I need to go back, limit my mistakes, find out what I did. And so we'll see right now. Gilbert Kahn once again a little faster on that last lap, so they have dropped down to now a 157.8 for Gilbert. Meanwhile, your leader, a 158.2, so just under half a second the difference between second and first place, and you see the 108 starting to creep up now as they make their way through turn 5.
Yeah, he is right on his tail. He is looking to hunt him down. He is looking for that perfect position where he can actually make the pass safely, and he's trying to catch him. He's losing him a little bit in the straightaways. Oh, now he's catching up a little bit, so that's getting ready for those turns.
Able to leave it off the brakes just a little bit. Seems like Gilbert may be a little better in some of the faster, some of the tighter, more technical sections, whereas Callaway able to stretch things out in those longer runs here in this DP Brakes Liquid Twins class. The battle for the lead right now, Alex Callaway on the Toast Performance Indian and Gilbert Kahn on the Lindell Brakes ride.
Man, they are going around. You can see where each time Gilbert Kahn is trying to just find that line where he can get through those corners faster and just get a place where he can actually make a safe pass without going off into the sand.
And this has been pretty much the tale of the tape for our classes in battles in every single class. 1 and 2 right now on track in that DP Brakes Liquid Twins class. And then behind them, Eric Reyes and Ravi Patel still just a few seconds apart, battling for the lead in that Drag Specialties Air-Cooled Twins class as another lap gets put in the books by Callaway. And he stretched it back out a little bit on that last lap, a 157.1 to Gilbert Kahn's 157.5. So Callaway responding to the pressure from the 108.
You know, and everybody's riding a much smarter race today. You can see that they've learned, but they're still ready to go all out and take the wins. Everybody wants that checker, and they are going for it all out. And right now, we are seeing some incredible battles. This is great.
Yeah, you can even see Gilbert's pushing the pace right now. I've seen that back in, step out just a couple of times. And every time, you know, that's a reminder of yesterday and what could happen in the blink of an eye. So Gilbert doing a great job of balancing the risk and reward. How hard can I push without throwing this thing away?
Normal riders like myself would be extremely cautious on these runs. None of these guys are normal. They are going all out, and they're being smarter about it, but they're still going all out.
Well, yeah, it's the best of the best here at the VRL, and these riders push the absolute limit because of that level of competition. They're shaking hands and smiling with one another off track when the race is done, but best believe they want to be the guy in the center of the podium talking to Rob Idas when it's all said and done. getting one of those Figurati trophies that look so cool. I believe we've got the big shield chain designs for this round, and so those are the things that those riders go back and they study. And even when they win, we talk about Ruben's house, never satisfied, always looking for the next little bit of speed, the next innovation that he can make, whether it's to his riding style or to the machines. And we see that same level even here in that DP Brakes Liquid Twins Drag Specialties Aircooled Twins classes as the battle for the lead rages on between Callaway and Concord.
You know, they are almost everybody in the pits are friends, but you know what? The only thing they don't want to lose to more is to a friend. So they do not want to lose to a friend, and so they really up the competition. They make each other better, and they learn from each other, and it really helps out. Look at them going around the corner there, knee down. Beautiful shot right there. They're right there, and I believe that's the bowl right there. Beautiful shot.
And Ravi Patel on the
all right.
Eric Reyes on.
So making their way back, I think this is headed back towards the bowl once again. You can see the way it drops down right there. We were able to get out on track and ride that in one of the rental cars, and it, again, doesn't quite do it justice the way you're able to really sink into that corner. And that's probably one of the best spots of the track as far as the momentum power goes.
It really is, and you can basically slingshot your way out. It's a bank turn, and you just come out of there with so much momentum. And you've got to do it right, but you can actually go from the outside to the inside. And actually pick up a little time.
So look at this, the 108 closing back in.
This has been a hunt the whole race. It's incredible. He gets up to a certain point, and then Alexander Callaway just kind of takes it a little bit further out. So he
kind of almost hits that wall at the 2 bike lengths. He can get that close, no matter how far back he can get within to a couple of bike lengths, but getting further than that, just seems like Callaway's able to respond. Well, we saw those middle and outside lines being used a lot yesterday as well, carry a bit more momentum, unconventional when you think about passing the long way around the outside, but Gilbert doing a good job of making it work for him at the moment.
Because it's such a momentum track, some of the best passing is actually on the outside, not on the inside. You get that momentum coming around and just slingshot your way across all the competition.
Oh man, he might have maybe eat my words here. I think he's within 2 bike lengths or so now as the 108 tries to show a wheel up the inside. Callaway shuts him down. Gilbert knows it is time to go, getting down to the final few laps in this 7-lap race. Your DP Brakes Liquid Twins battle for the lead right now. Just behind them, Eric Reyes and Ravi Patel battling for the lead in your Drag Specialties Air-Cooled Twins class. With Brandon Quaid just behind, rounding out the field, or the top 5, I should say.
Brandon had a great ride yesterday, and so it's good to see him back out there and doing well.
Let's see, back into turn 5, the bowl corner once again.
Look at that. Look at that knee down. That is just beautiful riding right there.
And both of these riders staying cool under pressure. I mean, they're both, offense, defense as much as you could possibly be. Gilbert trying not to follow. Meanwhile, Callaway doesn't want to change his lines up too much to protect the wrong line, but doesn't want to leave the door open for a pass.
Absolutely. And there. Oh, we got I thought he was slowing down.
Yeah, I thought he dropped back for a second.
Yeah, just something that neither one has panicked, and neither one has actually tried to be, once again, greedy. So they're running a patient race, which is what you've got to do out here.
Well, that patience is going to start running thin, though. You know as well as I do. We've got to be 4 or 5 laps down in this 7-lap race. White flag's going to be coming out before you know it. And at the moment, at least, the 108 not close enough to make something happen. So it just seems like he strikes and then he falls back, and then strikes again and falls back. Look, now he's back on the charge, closing that gap up once again.
Moving in closer, trying to make that pass, but does he have enough? Oh, he's getting really close right here, but once again, now you're stretching it out. It's almost this yo-yo effect that they keep going back and forth and back and forth.
Maybe that camera shot right there, they may have a lap rider up in front of them. As here it is, the white flag, I knew it had to be soon. And once again, the 108 tries to move up that inside, just not quite close enough to shut down Alexander Callaway. And they are coming up on a little bit of lap traffic, so we'll see how this affects things. Could this hold Callaway up just a bit?
Yeah, they've just had a clean track out in front of them, and now suddenly they've got lap traffic. That's going to be, that's might be what he needs, what Conde needs.
Are they going to split the lapper? Here we go. Oh, it might. The 108 has to chop back to the inside. Not sure how much that really affected him.
He is right there on the tail, but now he's coming up.
Oh, he had some momentum, but
he did.
Callaway, I think, just closed the door a little bit, had to check up. Oh, hang on to it now. The leg coming off for Alexander Callaway.
Wow. That was right through Crash Corner. They did a great job there, but Crash Corner almost took its first victim right there.
I think this is Crash Corner. I think that was that 6 and 7. The other blind chicane going downhill.
You know what? You're right. Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's where we saw, I think it was Vincent Wilson go down yesterday.
Yes.
So that's another one of those spots that's so hard on the throttle. Seems like the balance of the bike and your weight just gets a little bit off. They saw firsthand what could happen. Is this battle is going to come all the way down to the line. Gilbert not giving up yet. A few corners still remaining here in this DP Brakes Liquid Twins class. The battle on your screen. Alexander Callaway on the Toast Performance Indian leads the way, while Gilbert Kahn on that Lindell Brakes Indian trying to chase him down. Dave, just a couple of corners left. I don't know. Looks like the 78 might be able to hang on to this.
I think so far he's just been able to have just enough to slam the door on him. He was Kahn's come up so many times.
Oh, it's a drag race once again.
Here we go.
Oh, wait a second. Timing and scoring. He got him. Gilbert
Did he
Kahn
really?
going to get him at the line according to my timing and scoring. The 108 gets the job done at the line. Alexander Callaway. And look at the difference. 0.001. We said a 10th. Could it get any closer? Boom. First race of the day. Wow.
Every single race seems to be more competitive and better than the last, and this has been an amazing weekend.
Man, what an incredible battle for the win in your DP Brakes Liquid Twins class, picking it up on the back wheel and trading off wins. Alexander Callaway getting the job done yesterday, and Gilbert Kahn on the 108 Lindell Brakes back Indian ride. Going to get it today. I mean, that's one of those battles, even if you're Alexander Callaway, you come up short of the win. It's just fun to be a part of. I know it was fun for us to announce it. It's got to be fun to actually be out there on the track doing it.
And it was from start to finish. It was a battle. It was not like some races where, you have a battle at the end. This was a battle from the start, from the green flag to the checkered flag, everything in between. They were going at it. That was incredible.
And it looks like just behind them, Eric Reyes is going to get the win in your Drag Specialties Aircooled Twins class, just in front of Ravi Patel. So sounds like that was another great battle as well. Just behind them is Brandon Quaid, rounding out your top 5. Let's get ready to take a look at this Alpine Star Rapid replay as we'll break down this incredible kickoff to day 2, their DP Brakes Liquid Twins and Drag Specialty Aircooled Twins classes on the line. Couple of big moves forward. Ravi Patel getting a great start. Eric Reyes on that big bagger. Not quite as quick off the draw, but we know the top end speed for that bagger is hard to match. But this was the battle we were glued to pretty much the entire race, Dave. Gilbert Kahn trying to chase down Alexander Callaway, a position we saw him in all day yesterday up until it forced a mistake and he found himself on the ground. We asked if he learned any lessons. Looks like he learned them and put them to good use today.
He absolutely did, and he took very important notes yesterday from the mistakes he made and didn't do them today. Kept out in front, made sure that he had just enough to shut the door in many of the cases where, it was incredible. He was about to get caught, and he would stay out in front, and then right at the end, Gilbert Kahn came around.
We talk about the physical requirements for success in the BRL, but the mental fortitude and the focus, right? The amount of time he was close but not quite close enough. There was the closest moment for Alexander Callaway, is picking up that outside leg, hanging on to it. The drag race to the finish line. Photo finish at the line. Man, that is incredible. And like I said, going off of our timing and scoring that we have here, it shows Gilbert Kahn crossing the line in the number 1 position. And Alexander Callaway should be in that number 2 spot.
Yes, he should.
With Eric Reyes and Ravi Patel 3 and 4. So So a little mix-up in that Alpine Star top 10, but the number 1 spot is correct. The Lindell Brakes Indian ride of Gilbert Kahn grabs the win just in front of Alexander Callaway. All right, well, we are going to take a quick break. Hey, big shout out to our friends over at Ultracool Oil Cooling Systems. They're in the house with us this weekend and jumping on board for BRL 2025. We're so grateful to have them. And, man, talk about a company that all of the top names use. It's great to have them hanging with us this weekend at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway and for BRL 2025. We're going to get a quick word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll have our podium celebrations with our DP Brakes Liquid Twins and Drag Specialties Air-Cooled Twins class. This is the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades. And a special thank you to Newcastle Harley-Davidson for this live broadcast.
Harley M8 racers win with Braun Stainless. Their no-holds-barred exhaust systems are built for one thing, power. With smooth inlets and stepped pipes engineered to keep exhaust velocity high, they squeeze every ounce of torque out of your motor. Their iconic 2-in-1 collector feeds into a reverse cone megaphone for that signature growl and performance edge. Drag strip or road course, Braun Stainless delivers. Get yours at BraunStainless.com.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit MemphisShades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
It is the day of the specialist. Experts in a class conscious of every nuance. Focus rules. Our specialty is wheels, and wheels only. We respectfully carry the wheelwright legacy into our eccentric world by improving the rides of motorcycles and riders globally. We are proud wheelwrights, nothing more. We are Ride Right. Simple, solid, boundless.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to round 2 of the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades, and our live broadcast brought to you by Newcastle Harley-Davidson. One of our riders experiencing a ton of success so far in 2025 is Eric Reyes, who just went 1-1 in our Drag Specialties Air-Cooled Twins classes. And we were able to catch up with Eric a little bit earlier and talk to him about his season so far in 2025. Here we are with one of our star riders from day one, Eric Reyes. Eric, man, multiple podium finishes, some close battles out there. A great way to start the 2025 season. Take us through day one for you.
Day one, I came out here not feeling the greatest. I don't have very much track time on the new motor. So it's kind of new for me. I came out here, could be more excited. I did pretty good. The sand didn't help. The wind didn't help today. It was pretty crazy. There was a lot of red flags, a lot of sand walls. It was. I mean, could have asked for better weather, but other than that, we didn't finish too bad.
Yeah, you overcame a lot of obstacles out there. Some really close battles with your competition as well. Talk a little bit about, you said a little maybe behind the 8 ball coming into the season. Do you feel like this is Eric Reyes at 100%, or do you still think you've got some little improvements that you can make where we could see some more speed throughout the season?
There's always room for improvement. It's always learning. Every time I'm on the track, it's learning and getting faster. So there's never 100%. This is all new to me. I've been doing this for 2 years now, but every day I'm on the track, I'm trying to get faster. I'm out there racing myself, so my opponents are out there, but I'm trying to improve my lap times, and that's all I can do.
Well, it was an impressive performance to start the season. We're excited to see what you can do tomorrow at day 2.
Thank you.
All right, that's Eric Reyes on the 187. Great catching up and talking with Eric Reyes. And Eric, open to sponsorship as well. So if you guys are looking to help him out this year or moving forward, reach out to him. But right now, it is time to do some celebrating as we send things down to Rob Bidas standing by with our DP Brakes Liquid Twins podium.
What did you think of that action? How about a nice round of applause for all 3 of these competitors? Finishing third with my friend David Lancaster. How you doing, my friend? A great ride. Never had it so good. Chuckwalla's got to be a home track for you guys. Feel pretty good coming out here.
It is. It racing with these guys. Out here every weekend with them. My buddy, glad these guys are out.
You know, one of the big things we know that getting sponsorship on hold, so who you want to give a shout out to?
He's a nation.
That was an awesome
I want to shout out to Dunlop. I can't even remember. I gotta think of this. My family, my lady, my fucking bro and his family. They came out here and had a great weekend racing too, so they had a great time. Fun event.
Well, congratulations, Larry Mills from DP Brakes, handing out the awards.
Thank you.
Now we hand out awards for the day before we do the weekend. Hold on, Louis. There is. I know there was a little bit of a thing, and we're all comfortable with how we're doing this. Gilbert Coffey, as we've gone through and looked at the footage, has been in the number 2 spot yesterday. Was a tough day today. Spectacular.
I'll tell you what. Today was repeat yesterday. I just wanted to go do the best, race Alex. And, it was just a matter of keeping it together. There was some issues, communication a little bit on 1 or 2 laps. On the last lap, I backed it up, and we're like, oh, let's go. And I didn't get it at the line. It's all right, though. Yesterday's race was crazy. We were going hot yesterday, too. I was glad I'm back on the podium today. Glad we will entertain everybody. Glad we went down. I'd like to thank, most importantly, Linville Brakes, Rotors and Wheels. They get me out here. Moran Motor Company, they also get me out here as well. They help me out with a lot of things. Dumper Ranch, Organic Chicken Eggs, also. They're a big help. My buddy Danny, my grandson, will help as well. Just a great day. I'd like to thank Scorpion Helmets for keeping my noggin in one piece yesterday. Alpine Star, same thing. They took a slide. I'm still out here racing. So I'm sure I've got somebody. Oh, and I'd like to thank Harlan for helping me out with like last night. Rock Speed also. They hooked me up with a set of risers. They're awesome people. Got me on podium. Alex also, he gave me bars. We it's a group effort and can't do it by myself.
Congratulations, Larry Mills, DP Brakes, award for you. Thanks from Spina for writing all these great awards and Julie Condi. Now we move over to the middle. The gentleman's agreement was settled with the photography, and Alex Calloway, you picked up the 1-1 on the weekend. I see you're dressed for success. Way to go, my friend.
Yeah, definitely thanks to Plus Racing for keeping me out here in the best looking suits, I think, in the paddock. Definitely thanks to Twist Performance for all that they've done getting me out here this weekend, to Vortex, to Blood Oils, to Carbon, helping him, helping me, just crew chief and everybody out here this weekend, just a huge help. Obviously, the biggest thank you goes to my wife for sure, for all the work that she and her team does, as well as tolerating me doing this on a weekend when she doesn't get to have as much fun. She's awesome. And thank you to the track for putting this on, and all the staff that makes this happen, and everything from the guys that are out there, the camera crew, just dealing with a windstorm yesterday, just troopers, all of them. So just huge thank you to everybody that came.
Well, the Figurati Award, Larry Mills is handing us today's win for the day. But we also in the BRL have an overall for the weekend, and you pick up the first BRL overall for the weekend. First, how about a nice round of applause for all 3 as they take their steps up on the podium. How about a nice round of applause for the DP Brakes Liquid Twins final? We'll be back in just a opponent with the Aircooled Twins Podium.
Go interview him.
Go show him, Bubs.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
All right, so great stuff there from that DP Racing podium, and like we said, going to get the stage reset before we get our next class up there. Hey, one of the amazing sponsors that we have out here this weekend with us is Rock Speed FX. They've got these adjustable bar risers that are taking over the Bagger Racing League, and we were able to catch up with the Rocks crew a little bit earlier this weekend and talk to them about what they're bringing here to the Bagger Racing League.
It's no secret that body positioning is a crucial key to success in the Bagger Racing League. I'm here with Chris from Rocks to talk about their adjustable pivoting riser and how that can set up better body ergonomics for the racers here in the BRL. Chris, tell us a little bit about your product and how this helps our racers out on track.
Cool, yeah. We've been manufacturing this. We've got a patent on this since early 2000s. The goal behind a pivoting riser is to basically fit the motorcycle in the best ergonomic sweet spot for each person. We all come in different shapes and sizes, different arm lengths, different reach, different pant leg lengths. The goal of a pivoting riser is to be able to adjust those back, roll your handlebar to find the most comfortable position for your handlebars. Comfortable handlebar puts you in a better position to ride longer, be more confident in what you're doing.
So this is not only for one side of the scale, not just for shorter riders or for taller riders. This can truly adjust no matter what your size or shape is.
Yeah, exactly. The pivoting riser actually transfers across from the street bikes to the adventure bikes to ATVs and snowmobiles. Again, the goal is to find that ergonomic sweet spot or the most comfortable position for you to ride. A lot of times people want to put more miles on, but there's pressure on their wrists or their backs. This puts the handlebars in the best position for you to be comfortable. And again, we've been doing this for nearly 25 years as a company. We have a couple of different patents on risers in the motorsports industry, and we're glad to be here at the BRL.
Now, if some of our riders at home are looking to try to get their hands on some of your product, where can they find that at?
You can go to any drag specialties or any Parts Unlimited dealers around the country, North America. Actually, we're in the Parts Europe catalogs too. So if you want to go there, check out, just look up risers in their website and you'll see a bunch of Rock Speed FX products.
Well, thank you for the time, Chris, and we're glad to have you part of BRL 2025.
Appreciate it. We're glad to be here.
So great stuff there from Rock Speed and everything they're bringing to the Bagger Racing League. Is now we get ready to send things back down to the podium where Rob Bidas stands by with our drag specialties Aircooled Twins class.
Finishing third. Brandon Quay. Brandon, great ride out there.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was tough on my boy Joe, had a little bit of a bad start, so I didn't get around him. The father and son of those XRs, they weren't easy to get around either. So it just was a different race than it was yesterday. And I look back probably the last 3 laps. Look back, I was expecting Joe to be right behind me. I'm super glad he wasn't because I'm exhausted, buddy. I'm tired.
Tell you what, this heat will get you out here. Great ride, and I know that you like making sure that we recognize the folks that helped you get here.
Yeah, that would be obviously my business, Quay Harley Davidson. Those are my family, my employees, my lovely wife. I give a lot of credit to her. She's always had my back no matter what I do. I just come up with crazy things like racing in my 40s. She loves it. ODI bars and so many others, and RX2 Law.
our main sponsor. So thank you guys very much. And thank you for anybody that actually rode out here and went through the crappy weather of SoCal, but to come out here and support us, it really means a lot to us. No matter how many people show up, it means a lot. All our teams, everybody here, and all the support. Thank you, Chuckwalla, and you too, Rob Bitos. None of us wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and your dreams. Thank you. Thank you very much. Kerry from Figurati Designs, handing out some hardware for the number 3 spot. Let's slide on over down the podium here and go over to Ravi Patel. Wait until the to put the heat on, trying to bring all that goodness out there. Great ride, my friend.
Thank you. But Eric definitely gave me a run for my money today, but we were still able to pull off a second. We didn't crash, and I'll take that as a win.
Take that as a win as well. I know that you got some help getting here. Who would you like to shout out?
Definitely Quade Harley-Davidson. Like I said, without him, it really wouldn't have been possible. RX2 Law, Multiple USA, and
as well. Continental Tires in the gang right here. Kerry got your award. Now we move to the center spot. This is Eric Reyes' position the last 2 days. Congratulations. You picked yourself up 1-1 on the weekend. You got 50 points in the 2025 BRL season.
I'm trying to keep that running, so I'm looking for sponsors to run the rest of the season. As of right now, I'm doing this one and the last one. So if anyone's looking, I could really use the help. But this race was crazy. I was dead tired. I kept looking back. I had a wall worker, someone on my team that was running the wall and telling me the gap, and they quit after the first or second lap. So I had no idea. I had to keep looking back, and I knew he was on my tail, and the gap wasn't. There was no gap. It's the same thing. We were both running the same times. I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be tricky to pass him early because he would keep the same pace as me, and that could potentially backfire. So I'm glad I kept him behind me, and he made me push the whole time. I'm super tired. Congratulations to him. He made me go faster. I just set a new PR, so I've never been that fast here. So this guy, both of them made me faster this weekend. But I want to thank my sponsors, Law Tigers, All American Riders, Harley's Customs, Dunlops. They came out here. And they've been helping me out all weekend, kind of checking my tire pressures, making sure everything's good, looking at my tire wear. Super sticky. I'm glad that they kept me planted on the track. And my wife before I forget.
Congratulations, everybody. Kerry has a double award for you. He's got the day award. And now he's going to hook you up with the overall in the class for the weekend award.
Dang, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for the top 3 in the Aircooled Twins class. Guys, let's take it back up to the podium as we get ready to go racing with our second race of the day, ATU, and we got a gang of sport bikes as well.
All right, great stuff there from the podium. Absolutely love those Figurati Design Awards. Really showing a little bit of style here at the Bagger Racing League. Well, like we said, it truly does take a village to put on not just one of these races, but an entire series going across the US of A. And one of the longest running sponsors here at the Bagger Racing League is DP Brakes. And we were able to catch up with Larry Mills to talk to him about the relationship between DP and BRL. We're here under the Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson tent with Larry Mills from DP Brakes, one of the longest running sponsors here at the BRL. Larry, it's almost opening weekend of the 5th season of the BRL. What are your expectations for the weekend?
Well, I'm very excited, and yes, this weekend we're excited because it's a new location. We've been supporting Rob and the BRL since its inception, so it's been great for our brand overall, especially in the bagger side of it, and it's really helped our brand grow because people are more aware of our products, and a lot of the teams are using them, especially Suburban Harley, where our clutches are on all their machines. We're on a lot of other teams on clutches and brakes, but as far as the series, DP Brakes is the sponsor and is going to be for a long time.
And you guys have talked about the relationship between the BRL and DP Brakes and the way you guys have tried to innovate your technology as well due to the high amount of stress that gets put on the brake pads here at BRL.
Well, definitely, and I get all the feedback from the teams, and I take that back to the factory, and they try to improve on what we have. Even though we have good product, they try to improve on what we have, and from this, the feedback from all the riders, the teams, it really helps us as a brand.
Well, Larry, not only is BRL taking over the United States, we're taking it worldwide as well. We've got BRL Europe. To just talk a little bit about how exciting it is to see what the future holds for this entire racing series.
Well, it's awesome because our company is based in the UK, so it's good for our brand over there in Europe and in Australia and that stuff. So, and we have distribution everywhere. But being in the UK, based in there, we're going to have teams that are involved in this over there too. So it's very exciting. The whole the way the series is going. So
now, if riders at home are looking to step up their ride and the stopping power for their machines, where can they find your product at and get some on their very own?
Yeah, so we are and have been exclusive with Drag Specialties since '94. So you can go to any Drag Specialties stocking dealer. They're all they're worldwide because they have parts Europe and everything, and Canada. So we're exclusive. So you can go to any Drag Specialties or Parts Unlimited stocking dealer, and they can get our brand from there.
Well, there you go, guys. BRL, not just about how fast you can go, but how fast you can stop here with DP Brakes.
Thank you.
Larry, just one of those friendly faces that you see out at the races, and a lot of our Racer TV family probably recognize Larry from the GNCC series as well, where he's taking care of a lot of those top athletes as well. Well, another huge part of our success here at the BRL is that Feuling racing team that our GP champ Ruben Zaus rides for, and we were able to catch up with Luke Leatherman from Feuling to talk a little bit about the innovation for the parts they create and how they turn those around and give them right back to the consumer through their Feuling parts. So we're going to catch up with Luke and hear about Feuling parts.
All right, here we are back in the Feuling pits with Luke Leatherman. Now, Luke, not only are you guys incredible at making a top-level performance racing machine, but you're able to take what you've learned from the racetrack and provide it to the customers back at home as well that are looking to upgrade their ride with the Feuling parts that we see behind us. Tell us a little bit about what you guys have to offer and how you found the technology to be able to make these things.
Well, I tell you what, our bread and butter and our staple product is going to be the oiling system components, where we're really focused on the cam chest, oil pump, cam plates, cam shafts, and then the valve train components. And one thing that we're really proud to be able to offer is all the components that we're using in this race bike are readily available through your local Drag Specialties dealer. So everything is in the catalog, and I mean, you've got everything from OE type replacement all the way up to wild, like what we're using on the race bike. So we're kind of showcasing some of our new air cleaners over here, where we have fitments everywhere from Evo twin cam up to the Milwaukee 8. And we're also proud to showcase our new VA air cleaner that's on the race bike. So that's going to be coming to market here real soon.
Well, that is incredible. So you're telling me that I can upgrade my ride with basically the same stuff Ruben Zaus is running?
Absolutely.
Well, that is great to hear. Now, another thing that we've been hearing a little bit around the rumor mill is that we're taking this thing worldwide. Talk a little bit about BRL Europe and your part in that.
Well, Ruben's been he's been on the move, Ruben Chaus, and he's setting up a race circuit over there in Europe because that's where his hometown is, based out of Andorra. And interesting note about road racing here in America versus over the pond. It's much more difficult here in the United States because the location of the tracks are so far apart compared to over in Europe. You're also, the tracks over there are readily open, which means that they have the track workers there, they have the ambulances, and it's a lot less expensive to go racing over in Europe. But anyways, we're excited to further our relationship with Parts Europe and Drag Specialties over in Europe, and we think it's a great fit.
Well, once again, Luke, we thank you for your time and excited to see not only the BRL and the Feuling products here in America, but worldwide as well.
Thank you.
Always great to catch up with Luke and that entire Feuling crew as we have our warm-up lap off and rolling right now for our Zippers Performance product, American Twins Unlimited class. And we've got some heavy hitters. We've got our lightweight Superbike class going to be coming out there as well. And no surprise, Dave, on pole position, Gilbert Kahn on that 108.
He has just been spectacular all weekend long. It's going to be great to watch. And this is such a fascinating race to see because you've got your Superbikes,
right,
and you've got your American Twins Unlimited. And watching these two, it's a different philosophy of design. It's a different philosophy of racing, and it's truly interesting to see the actual strategy that each of these riders is going to have according to the bike that they're riding.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch without a doubt. Gilbert out there on that Lindell Brakes Indian back ride. Eric Reyes back out on course as well in the number 2 spot, and Tony Tucker on that Tucker Speed Shop bike. You see the beautiful blue machine moving up right now. And good to see Tony out there as well. And then Alexander Callaway, our pole position qualifier out of that Superbike class. So Callaway and Kahn back out there once again. Michael Gaugus, who we saw yesterday, have some really strong rides, as did Brian Shields. So that one's going to be a fun one to watch. These guys, like we said, taking a little bit of notes. We saw Gilbert put a little bit of that use there in Moto 1. Now he's got track experience here today as well, ready to put it back here in this Zippers Performance Products American Twins Unlimited, put it back out front.
And it's going to be great to watch. And of course, today, right now, we have very little wind, so it's really nice to see.
Watch the number 8 back there, the neon yellow. Carl Schlacht on that Speed Farm HHI back ride. He is so fast off of the start. I don't think I've seen anybody get off the line quicker than him, especially on one of those baggers. And look,
there he goes.
Cuts right through the front line. I mean, absolutely incredible every time. Carl has got some kind of secret figured out off the start.
Jumps out in front and taking that first turn, and he's leading the pack right there.
So Carl Schlacht on that Speed Farm HHI back ride, leading the way. Let's see, as already some pressure starting to be applied. That's Gilbert Kahn trying to peek up the inside, and looks like Callaway and some of our Superbike riders starting to cut their way through the pack as well.
They are. They've got a little more nimble machines and able to just kind of pick and choose their way through. But Carl's Carl's falling back a little bit, but Kahn is out front and trying to put some daylight between him and everybody else.
Gilbert takes over that number 1 spot. That might be Brian Shields in the number 2 spot on the Kawasaki 400, the hard drive American V-Twins product back ride, and he's trying to take the number 1 spot right now as they head down our back straightaway, going to be approaching that crash corner section. And you can see just able to leave it off the brakes a little bit more.
Oh, he's going to pass on the outside and takes it.
Wow. And almost immediately puts a few bike lanes between himself and the rest of the field as well. So we'll wait and get official confirmation as to who that rider is out front. And being told that might be actually Josh Fogel.
That is Josh Fogel, yes. Josh Fogel actually has been racing for 25 years and actually at one point set the track record right here on Chuckwalla's Speedway.
Oh, so Fogel knows how to go quick around this course, and we talked about the comfort that comes with experience in these conditions. Fogel looking mighty comfortable right now.
He is looking extremely good, and he actually started here when Chuckwalla started. He was here from the very beginning and been racing and has set some amazing blistering times on many different bikes.
So that is Callaway in the 3rd place position now, as meanwhile Josh Fogel, the 151 ride out front, leads the way out on the Yamaha R6. So want to make sure to give them proper credit. And look at the battle between the baggers. Tony Tucker and Eric Reyes going at it. Tucker's got the position for now as Fogel checks in a 2:05 on that first lap. So they usually drop it down a couple of seconds on lap 2, so we'll see what Fogel's able to do. But meanwhile, Kahn right there a couple of seconds off the pace.
Yeah, I'm sure Fogel's going to keep on dropping that down because I've seen some of his record times, and nobody knows this track the way he does, so it's going to be interesting. He's the guy you want to know and watch his lines.
And yeah, talking about his qualifying effort earlier today, it was actually 10 seconds slower than the fastest lap that he has ever ridden here. So this guy has tons of experience. Look at that, a look back over the shoulder. Gilbert Kahn was trying to find out where Callaway was. Meanwhile, he looked to the left. Callaway was passing him on the right. I don't even think he saw the 76 go around it.
That was a strange look over the shoulder. That was really bizarre and really sad timing on that because, he just blew right by him on the other side.
Just goes back to talking about the concentration and the focus that you have to have as they make their way through turns 8, 9, and now 10, exiting crash corner.
Looking good there.
Alexander Callaway on your screen on that Toast Performance back R3.
Look at how close. They're getting their knees right down on the track. That's incredible. that was very difficult to do yesterday because of the wind.
Yep, and taking a look out of our studio window right now, not quite seeing the whipping motion, the big dust devils, anything like that. But I am seeing some pressure being applied for the lead. Look at this, Callaway starting to pull up alongside Josh Fogel on the 151. Fogel does a good job of responding, but I don't think he was expecting Callaway to sneak up on him like that.
I don't think he was either, and maybe went a little bit asleep out in front so far, and then suddenly he's got competition.
So let's see, it was a 205.6 the last time through. Time and scoring now going to read
202.
A 202.
Wow.
So definitely dropping it down some, but Callaway a 201.4, so just about a second faster is your second place rider, Alexander Callaway. Meanwhile, Kahn still in the number 3 position. And Fogel and Callaway might be leading physically, but they are in that Superbike class, the lightweight Superbike, out front leading the way in our Zippers Performance product American Twins Unlimited class is Gilbert Kahn on the 108. So maybe thinking a little big picture as well, how hard do I really want to push the limits when I'm out front leading my class?
You're really trying to fight what your DNA says, because a racer, when they see somebody ahead of them, it doesn't matter what kind of bike they're on, who they are, they want to pass them no matter what. But hopefully he can pull it back a little bit and just make sure he's riding a fast, smart, safe ride.
And Fogel and Callaway, I'm sure, probably no strangers to one another. Alexander Callaway, a local racer here as well, got some close ties to the track and track personnel, so not his first laps around Chuckwalla Valley Raceway either. And you got to think, as much time as these two have spent on track, probably been out there at the same time a few times.
And the experience is showing for both of them, because they are running beautiful lines in each and every corner and having zero issues with this track so far, and putting in some amazing times. 201, 202. We haven't seen that a lot in either day, but they're just flying around this track.
Great shot there from that Bridgestone live drone as now we take it back to ground level, watching Gilbert Kahn trying to reinitiate the fight with Callaway. Just out of touch a little bit. Some space now starting to fall between our top 3, as meanwhile Eric Reyes still in the 4th place spot. It looks like Reyes has gotten around Tony Tucker on the 477. Tucker speed shop back ride. And like we said, got to give some props to Eric Reyes, multiple class successes. And talking to him yesterday, he said, we are one of the least sponsored riders in the field, getting some help from some great people. But, it's me and my wife changing tires between races. We're doing this all ourselves. And so if you guys are interested, there he is on screen right now, the 187 of Eric Reyes. Definitely showing those potential sponsors that he's got what it takes to get the job done, not once, but on a consistent basis.
And that just shows what a grassroots sport that this is. You got the family doing it together, and it's really exciting to see dedicated couple like that are out here all the time, getting in as much track time as possible, wanting to get better, wanting to be in the championship run, and really trying to learn every single track and doing it as a family.
Yep, and Ray is a great guy as well. He's not one that you're going to see running over to take the microphone out of my hand, but he lets his riding do the talking, and you got to respect that. Some people, they're not quite all the characters, if you will. He's a hardworking guy. He enjoys racing. He enjoys trying to continually evolve as a racer, like we heard in his interview, and he's doing a great job of letting his riding do the talking right now.
And that just goes to show that there are all types of personalities in the racing family. You've got the quiet ones, you've got the boisterous ones, you've got the just the wild ones as well. So, you know what? It's open for all personalities. Come on out, guys. If you love to race, Bagger Racing League is just for you.
Yep, the door's wide open, and there's more than one way to have success in this series for sure. Is watching our Bridgestone live drone, Eric Reyes making his way through, and just about halfway through the Zippers Performance product American Twins Unlimited class, as well as our lightweight Superbike. Josh Fogel out front leading on the 151 Yamaha, setting a blistering 153.8 on that last lap as the halfway mark up and rolling here. So look, checking back in with your leader, a little look down there from Fogel. I think he was giving a wave to one of the photographers there.
Looked like it.
And man, just feeling the flow right now. It doesn't look like he's overriding. Just seems like he knows his marks, and that's one of the comfort things where when it becomes almost second nature, you're not looking for visual cues. You can almost just feel exactly when you need to start leaning, exactly when you need to start rolling that throttle back on. And he's already put over 16 seconds on Alexander Callaway. We saw Callaway try to get back into a fight a little bit, and it's like Fogel just clicked an extra gear.
He did, and he just ran a 153. That is incredible on this track. He knows this track. He knows every line, and you're right. He is just it's almost an unconscious thing. You're just going through the motions because you know how to do it, and you've done it so many times. Experience is really showing right here with Josh Fogel.
Making his way around, I believe that is turn 13 and 14 he's coming through right now. Just kind of, this is one of those moments, we talked about it yesterday, Dave, where you get out front and it's almost hard to not be on the razor's edge. I think it was Ruben Zaus we were talking about, where he had pulled that gap out, and it's almost like you have a break in concentration because you're not under that immediate pressure. So right now, Fogel got to keep himself engaged, got to stay locked in, as they like to say, and bring this thing home, even if he doesn't have somebody right on his rear wheel.
Yeah, so many of these times the riders are all about being either the hunter or the hunted, and that keeps them very sharp and in the battle. When you're not either one and you're just way out in front, that's when you can, just a mental lapse can cause a huge mistake, and we saw a little of that yesterday.
And taking a look at our lap times, Callaway and Kahn, once again, I was about to say, it looks like they're relatively close on track because their lap times are almost identical in that upper 2 minute, lower 2:01 range. Kahn once again finds himself trying to get around Alexander Callaway. Maybe a different machine underneath them, but the same man piloting it nonetheless.
And there's a lot of pride there because
absolutely,
he's not gonna lose again. He's gonna make sure that he comes up around. And
well, and like we said, these guys are the first ones to celebrate with you after the race, but when the helmet's on, they are there to try to get the win, no question about it, or at least beat you.
It is serious stuff at that point, yes.
Back with Eric Reyes once again as well. Looks like he has gotten clear of Tony Tucker in the 5th place spot, so Reyes trying to be that top finishing bagger, it looks like, as we check back in with the battle. I believe that was Callaway and Kahn we were just watching, making their way into Crash Corner once again, turns 8, 9, and 10. And Callaway still hanging on to the position as they exit Crash Corner.
Look at that, just beautiful lines. Here we go. We got a nice pass. Wow, Gilbert Kahn just blew by him. Great pass. Nope. But Alexander Callaway's responded and come back around. Gilbert Kahn's going to have to give it another shot.
And it sounds like our white flag is coming out, so 1 lap left for Josh Fogel on the 151. Turns in a solid 158, so dropping it a couple of seconds now. Got to think not wanting to take any of those unnecessary risks as we are watching the battle on screen between Alexander Callaway and Gilbert Kahn. Callaway currently in the number 2 spot physically on track, and the number 2 position in our lightweight superbike class. Meanwhile, Kahn, as he makes the pass, taking the white flag, is leading the way in our Zippers Performance Products American Twins Unlimited class. But just like Dave said, I think this one's more for pride than just that Figurati trophy.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to go at it because they know that they're going to be seeing each other in the pit, and one guy wants to be able to say, "Hey, I got you.
Better luck next time."
Exactly.
Yep. It's those fun competition-based relationships. Those are some of the best friendships, if you will. The guys that you could battle as clean racing, right? Nothing dirty happening out there. You guys can race hard, and then no matter how it turns out after the race, you can have a laugh and have a good time. Both of these guys going to be hopefully jumping up on the podium as well, as they are just over half a lap away. Meanwhile, a mean 26 seconds or so in front of the rest of the field. Josh Fogel putting the final touches on what has been a dominant performance so far in this lightweight superbike class. Back to this battle between Kahn and Callaway we go. At this point, I think they're just toying with one another.
It really looks like it. Now there's there's a little more separation than there has been. I'm not sure what just happened there. Seems like Alexander Callaway just kind of backed off a little bit. Oh, now he's charging, though, once again, setting him up for the corner.
Got a great drive out of that corner. I mean, right back to the rear wheel. Kahn taking a little look over the shoulder. Meanwhile, picking it up on the back wheel and picking up a win in our lightweight superbike class is Josh Vogel, getting the job done. We're going to stay with this battle all the way to the line. Look at the motor from the 108 of Gilbert Kahn. Putting it to good use. That little brakes back Indian ride. Meanwhile, Alexander Callaway, is it for the trophy? Is it for the pride?
And passes him back.
Oh, but it's going to be a drag race.
Here we go.
Once again.
Who's got it?
And it looks like Kahn just able to get him on horsepower alone. Callaway going to cross the line third physically, second in that lightweight superbike class. Meanwhile, the 108 going to pick up the win in your Zippers Performance Product American Twins Unlimited class. Eric Reyes getting ready to cross the line in the number 4 spot physically, second in that Zippers Performance Product ATU class. So another solid podium finish for the 187.
That was incredible. The Gilbert Kahn and Alexander Callaway coming across the line almost together, and just a great view coming out of that turn. And then, honestly, the torque of that Indian just took over, and there's nothing that Callaway could do at that point.
He let the power do the work. Let's take a look at our Alpine Star rapid replay and show you exactly how things broke down here in this Zipper Performance Product American Twins Unlimited and lightweight superbike class. Once again, Carl Schlack, a great start for the number 8. I don't know what he's got figured out, but he is always just lightning off the line. We grabbed the early race lead, but it didn't take long for Gilbert Kahn and then the 151 of Josh Vogel as well to make their move. And then it was like Vogel said, you know what, this has been fun, but I want some clean airspace. I'm going to check out. He makes the pass happen. Just a little bit lighter on those brakes, takes the long way around, and almost immediately starts to put a gap between himself and the rest of the field.
He just said, you know what, this is my track. I'll see you guys.
And we thought Alexander Callaway was going to be able to give him a run for his money. Both of these riders relatively local. They've got ties to the track, and we thought we were going to see a local battle royale, but man, it just seemed like Josh Vogel able to find an extra gear and start motoring away from the rest of the field. Meanwhile, Gilbert Kahn and Alexander Callaway going at it once again. A little different bike this time for Callaway, but the result the same. A tooth and nail fight to the very end. No problem for the 151 of Vogel, and here is the fight between, I mean, it was a back and forth battle between Alexander Callaway and Gilbert Kahn. The white flag came out. We didn't know which one of them were going to be able to take that second place spot physically.
We did not, and just a great race all the way around, and you know these guys are going to talk about that all night. You know, I had you on this turn. Well, I had you on this turn.
Yep.
And they're going to go back and forth, but neither one of those guys wanted to lose that one.
That was certainly fun to watch. Eric Reyes crossing that line second in the ATU class as well. Let's take a look at our Alpine Star top 10. So it is Josh Vogel grabbing the win. Josh Vogel grabbing the win. It should be Gilbert Kahn there in the number 2 spot with Callaway in third. Reyes, Tucker, Galgis, Shields, Schlack, and Owens, your top 10. And riders finishing up their cool down lap. And what we love, we'll be chatting with them up on the podium. Well, one of the amazing folks that helped kind of with the conception of the Bagger Racing League, and then has certainly been one of the most important members of keeping this going for now 5 years, is our Grand Marshalette, Paula Fox with Drag Specialties, and we were able to talk to our Grand Marshalette a little bit earlier this weekend. We're here with our Grand Marshalette, Miss Paula Fox. Now, Paula, we were just talking with Rob Bidas himself, and he had said if it wasn't for you and your late husband, Fred Fox, this entire creation would have never happened. Talk a little bit about how special it is to now see the 5th season of BRL getting started and to see how incredible of an event this has grown into be.
Well, I think it's great. I just want to carry on Fred's wishes that he, Rob came to our house in Wisconsin, and so Fred really got behind it, and I'm just behind it right now because I want to keep living that dream.
Hey, absolutely, and it's a dream come true. We talk to so many of these racers and how appreciative they are of finding a series like this that celebrates what BRL has become. And then on top of that, we're taking BRL worldwide. Talk a little bit about that as well, going to Europe and now Australia included.
Well, I talked with Ruben Zoss last year. Was it last year? At Willow Springs, and he says, I want to take this to Europe. And I said, good, fine, and he said, who do I need to talk to? Paul Langley. And so Ruben took off on that venture, and it's coming to fruition. Great.
Hey, it is extremely exciting for sure. Well, Miss Paula, we thank you for your time, and thank you for helping make BRL what it is today.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's our Grand Marshalette, Miss Paula Fox.
So great to talk to Paula, and absolutely just one of the godmothers, if you will, of this sport. I mean, just kind of saw the vision that Rob Bidas had and saw what this could be. And like we said, we absolutely could not do it without her. And I know she's been presenting a lot of our Figurati trophies throughout the weekend. So very grateful to her as we are getting things set up down on the podium. Going to be chatting it up with our top three from that Zippers Performance Product American Twins Unlimited class. Taking a look at our Bridgestone live drone, watching the teams get those bikes set up as well. If you haven't before come to a Bagger Racing League event, make sure you're following us on social media at Bagger Racing League or checking us out online at baggerracingleague.com. Find out what events are closest to you and get out here in person. It is so incredible to see the technology, the effort, the group effort that goes into making these incredible machines, and then the top-level athletes that you've been watching all weekend long, pushing the envelope, pushing the limits, and kind of making some new ground as to what Harleys and baggers are capable of doing. And then we've got some great classes as well. Here is that updated top 10 from Alpine Stars. So it is Josh Vogel who grabbed the win. He is on that CVMA Mac Yamaha ride. The 108 of Gilbert Condé on the Lindell Brakes Indian in the number 2 spot. Alexander Calloway, he's on that Toast Performance back R3, going to round out your top 3. Physically on track with Eric Reyes 4th and Tony Tucker in that 5th place spot. Michael Gouges does get the 6th place position with Brian Shields, Carl Schlack, and Jason Owens rounding out your field.
So nice to see that picture of the track right there. As it's everything is so much calmer today. I mean,
Yep.
We had a shot with some of the wind that was going on. We actually had a wall of sand at one point, and we have a shot of a rider going literally into this gigantic wall of sand where it looked like something out of Indiana Jones. It was really incredible.
And it kind of came out of nowhere, too. Like, everything was relatively calm, and then it just seemed like about that 1:30-ish hour it started to pick up a little bit. So far, all's calm on the fronts here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, but hopefully it is a little less than yesterday, because I think that got a little complicated for some of our riders. But no complications about it right now. It is time to do some celebrating as we send it down to Rob Bidas standing by with our Zippers Performance Product American Twins Unlimited Podium.
Podium. That was quite a battle all over the track out there. Let's start with the number 3 rider in the American Twins Unlimited class, Tony Tucker, 3-3 on the weekend. What a way to come back to racing.
Yeah, I feel good, man. I'm definitely feeling all of these 44 years right now. My leg isn't what it used to be. I mean, my leg's pretty sore and tired right now. But I was just hanging on, trying to just, finish a good race, put in good laps, and hang with these boys. These guys were ripping out there, so hats off to them. And, I just hanging on. I got one more race to do, so stay in my suit, get ready for Pro Stock here in a minute.
Stay sweaty, as they say, my friend. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I got to thank first and foremost my whole team and crew for making this all happen. I'll say it here on the podium, the best team here in the pits, hands down. These guys are awesome. Great camaraderie, spirit, attitude. I love them all, and want to thank them and some of the companies helping us out. Law Tigers, GP, Pirelli, Alloy Art, Ultracool jumped on board, Behringer Brakes, everybody helping me make this bike awesome and just out there on rails. So yeah, thanks to all these companies too.
Congratulations, Tony Tucker. Paula Fox has some of the Figurati awards here for you. Congratulations. We're going to slide all the way down to the end here.
like in the red stuff. Irons were, yeah, I got a main harness on. I was trying to keep up with Gil, and I saw the gap, and it wasn't really getting any bigger, so I thought I could keep up with it. I started, just as I get tired, we started pulling away, and I'm like, you just checked off. So, congratulations to him, congratulations to Tony for an amazing race. Thanks to you guys for holding this event, and everybody for coming out. They're all fans for coming out. Really, really confident in winning. Being a thing. So thank you to my sponsors, Montreal,
Barnett Cables, All American Riders, Harley Custom Cycles, I think Law Tigers, and Dunlops for keeping me planted. They've been awesome this whole weekend.
Fastest grandpa here.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Nice job, my man.
Yeah, I'm crippled as well. I can't barely walk. Thanks a lot. Yeah, it was. This is what it's like in first place here, right? I was trying. I tried last round. Tried this. I was trying. I finally got it. So, but finally did it. Ultimately, first and foremost, I forgot last round out here. I like the Racer's Edge Performance, Dunlop tires, Ride Dunlop, Matt and Dale. They come out here, they help us racers. They're not just selling the product, they're giving you information. They want you to be faster, they want you to be safe. And what better way to be faster and safe is be on the podium all the time with a Dunlop tire. I'd like to thank RSC Stunt Clutches, levers for they've been with me for 20 years plus. I went down yesterday and the whole front end was pretty much wiped except for my RSC stunt clutch. I'd like to thank Recluse Clutches as well that had their clutch in there for 3 years. Beat on it as much as I can and it holds up. And ultimately Lindell Brakes, they helped me out. Moran Motor Company, we took a fall. Hopefully those guys step up and we get her all pretty again for next round. And my family once again, and just thanks for BRL for coming out here. I want to see you guys more. I want to do this thing, and I like being here in the middle. It's fun. It's a good place for me.
Well, congratulations, Paula Fox has the hardware for you. So these are the top three of the day, but we have one more award. It goes to this gentleman right here, Mr. Eric Reyes, for the overall on the weekend. How about they take their spots up on the podium here? We get a nice shot for them. Figurati Awards, there you go. Hop up there, gang. We got another podium to go. We're going to throw it back up to the show.
Once again, a huge congratulations to our entire Zippers Performance product, American Twins Unlimited Podium. And once again, want to give a huge thank you to Newcastle Harley-Davidson, who are bringing you this live broadcast on RacerTV.com all weekend long. Want to give them a huge thank you for jumping on board and helping make sure all you folks at home, whether you're watching on Bagger Racing League or watching on RacerTV.com, get to experience Bagger Racing League and hopefully see why it's taking the world by storm. Another big thank you needs to be given to our friends over at Ultracool Oil Cooling Systems. They are not only on board with us in 2025, they are physically here with us at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway, and some of the top riders like Cody Gilmore, Jake Masters, and others choose Ultracool in their machines, and you should as well. So a big thank you to all of them. Hey, our very own Tony Tucker has now switched back from announcer back to racer, where he is much happier. It's okay, I'm not offended over it. But Tony is now our rider representative and is going to help us break down the difference between a super street class bike. And we were able to talk to Tony not only about the machines that he's running, he's got 2 on his Tucker Speed Shot team, but being back at the races and how he's feeling. We'll send things down with Tony Tucker.
All right, we're here with the 477 GP suspension Tucker Speed Racer. Tony, I hate not having you in the booth, but man, it's good to see you in some leathers. You're back out on track.
Yeah, it's a bummer to not be back in there with you this year. I'll kind of miss it a little bit, but I would much rather be back out here on the track. You know, we're dealing with some bike issues right now, but we're working through it. The team's got it handled. I did a session already this morning, and I feel really comfortable. So I'm happy with where I'm at already. My lap times need to improve, but I'm hoping that, a few more sessions, I'll shave a few seconds and be in the mix tomorrow.
Hey, absolutely. Now, talking last year in the booth a little bit about coming back from injury, how has that recovery been? Clearly, you're looking good, you're feeling good back on the bike, but talk about the tail end of that recovery for you.
Yeah, so the injury, I'm not 100%. I mean, I'll be straight up honest. My knee's still bothering me a little bit, especially in this kind of like rear set where my legs are up underneath me. So I'm adjusting to that also, getting used to being back on the bike, but also adjusting on how to use my leg because it works differently now. So there's some adjustment there. It's not to the point where I can't ride, it's just different. So I'm still adjusting, still working through the injury. It's a little sore. I got it taped up. I'll ice it tonight, and we'll get through the weekend.
Hey, absolutely. You do whatever it takes. Now, talk about being a part of this GP Suspension Tucker Speed team, how the Tucker Speed Shop got involved, and what you guys are looking for out of this season.
Yeah, we really stepped up our game this year. I wanted to come out here and, really show what my shop wants to, the professionalism, and I want to look like a factory team, right? So we really stepped it up. We built a second bike. I have my good friend Jason is riding the second bike in the Super Street class. So we're running 2 bikes this year. We got some new sponsorship this year that really stepped up and helped us out, in GP suspension and Pirelli tires, and like always, Law Tigers has always helped me out. Behringer brakes. I mean, Philippe's down here working on my brakes right now. So, I mean, some great companies supporting me, and I have a great team and crew. Obviously, as you can see, the hustle behind you guys, that these guys are getting the bike styled and getting them fixed up and ready to go. I'm super proud of my team, super happy and excited to have all the sponsors on board with us, and I just want to go out there and make them all proud.
Hey, absolutely. Now, we got to talk about the 5th season of BRL. Man, this series continues to grow. We get more and more involvement and interest, taking this thing worldwide as well. It seems like BRL, the future's looking bright.
It is. I mean, bagger racing has, swept the country and across international lines and across the pond into Europe and Australia now. And I've been involved with BRL and with Rob from the beginning. So it's been really special and fun to watch the evolution of the sport and see it grow to something like that. And I'm super proud to be a part of that and love being here in the pits with all the fellow racers and just kind of being in it. So it's something I'm, it's very close to my heart and I'm passionate about. And I love seeing the evolution of it.
Well, Tony, we'll miss you in the booth, but I'm excited to see you out on the track. Best of luck this weekend.
Right on. Thank you.
Always great to see Tony back where he belongs. Are right where they belong as well on the podium. Let's get ready to send things down to Rob Bidas standing by with our lightweight superbike class.
Lightweight super class. Brian Shields, you're doing all kind of racing. Here you got another one to go. Congratulations on landing back on the podium here in the lightweight class.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to put the hard drive American V Twin Products bike on the podium in the lightweight class today. Certainly excited to be here. Appreciate you guys putting a sport bike class on. Not a lot of folks apparently know about it yet, but we want to try to promote that so that we can get more and more sport bikes. For me, it worked out great because I broke the bagger yesterday, and it allowed me to get more lap time in on this and get the lay of the land for the track. But yeah, definitely excited for the BRL to keep doing this. And yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Bridgestone tires on the lightweight bike. We really hooked up with those guys, and Motul, Penn Ohio Cycles, DP Brakes. All those guys that have been on board with us all year on the bagger has stepped up and helped us on the lightweight bike. So thank you very much to everybody.
Well, congratulations, Paula. Come on down here with a second place medal for Brian Shields, all the way from Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, your town.
Oh, yeah. How about a nice round of applause for Brian Shields?
Thank you.
Alex, once again, back up. All weekend long I've been hanging out with you.
It's fun to hang out up here with you, honestly. It's just been a great time. Exactly like you said, I think a lot of people just don't know that we're able to do sport bikes. There's a class for those here. So it's awesome that we had that opportunity. I rolled into the weekend knowing I was going to run my Indian and found out about the class, and I just had the R3 sitting around. I was like, well, let's go spin some laps, and these boys definitely made it fun. definitely thanks to my wife Anna first and foremost. Thanks to again Carbon for kind of keeping me on track all weekend, getting the bike together, getting me out off the stands, off the warmers, all that. Thanks to Toast Performance for getting me out here in the first place. Thanks to Blood Oil, to Vortex, to Plus Suits, to Robert from Cali Photography, and the whole media team here, just killing it all weekend, and to BRL for putting on the event.
Thank you very much. Paula Fox has the number 1 for you, as well as he is going to have an arsenal of wedding. Let's get him the overall for the weekend in lightweight.
Nice.
You ready to go out to the club tonight now? Folks, here's our lightweight Superbike class.
Nice.
Step up here, young man.
Thank you, sir.
Just want to make sure I got it. Michael Gugas down here. Now, from what I say it.
Gugas.
Michael Gugas. The Googe.
There we go.
The Googe is here. Now, I understand you work a lot with the Road Racing World crew.
I am. I am an editor-at-large at Road Racing World and Motorcycle Technology magazine. I got to come out to the track and represent and keep my skills sharp, for those bike intros and everything. And it's a lot of fun to be out here. It's always good to be at the racetrack,
Keeping your skills sharp. You're like a Ginsu knife.
It was a lot of fun. I got to thank Carbon and Alexander over there. They gave me a talking to this morning, and I listened, and I tried to do what they suggested, and things went a lot better. It was a lot more fun today.
Well, I certainly hope we get a nice write-up in your article.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys put on a great event. I'm so happy you're here, and Mother Nature cooperated today. It was just a beautiful day of racing. It's always good to be on the track.
Well, Mr. Gujas picks up the number 2 spot as Paula presents you with that. Now, you're not done yet. Don't go away. We got the fastest medical team I've ever seen out here. The guy comes off the couch. After looking after all the safety of everybody, you decided this morning, it's too much fun. I'm not missing out.
Had no idea you guys allowed metric bikes in, and if I'd have known that, I'd have been there yesterday as well. Super excited to be out here. BRL, it's so awesome to have you guys here. Hope to have you back every year, at least once, if not twice, if we can swing it. So, yeah, pretty excited.
Well, congratulations. I know that no one gets up here by themselves. Who helped you out?
My wife, Rachel. None of this would happen without her permission. I mean, her help. Can't thank her enough. She's the one that says, yeah, go race. What are you just sitting here for? Go. So super grateful. Bridgestone tires, sticky as can be. Love those things out here. They work so well. My Yamasaki, you guys can decide. Yamaha, Kawasaki, I'll let you decide. Works great. It loves this place, and I just love riding here.
Well, we love having you here. He gets number 1 on the day. But Gooch, you're the overall, you get to go home with the Hardwell as well. How about you guys take a step up on that podium and we get ready to go. Capture all the action here. Brian, you're right over here. Yep. Well, let's just I wanted everybody up here on at all one time.
Get on number 2. You two get up there. How we do this? No, we don't. We ain't got no.
Robert's capturing all the action. One more time, folks. A nice round of applause. That's going to wrap it up here on the podium, guys. We're sending it back to you for our final race of the day. Andrews, Bagger GP, Pirelli Pro Stock, and the Barnett Super Street. It's going to be one for the ages.
The happiest place on the property over there at the podium. Rob Bidas getting the scoop from all of our top riders. Hey, one of our new sponsors jumping on board with the Bagger Racing League in 2025 is Burns Stainless, and we were able to catch up with Vince from Burns to talk a little bit about what they're bringing to Bagger Racing League and what kind of got their attention about wanting to jump on board with the BRL. All right, one of the new faces here at BRL in 2025 is the Burns Stainless Group, and we're here with Vince to tell us a little bit about what Burns has to offer and what they're doing here at BRL. Vince, how's it going?
Very good today. We're really excited to be out here at the Bagger Racing League and being a sponsor for the first year. Really nice to get with the riders themselves and really get to know what they really need. But one of the things that we've been involved with most recently is a road racing exhaust system. We've been building exhaust systems for Harley-Davidsons for several years now, and the road race system has been something that we've just recently introduced and wanted to come out here and get the impressions from the actual BRL riders. We've got a few of these systems out, kind of in a prototype, but we're excited to show it off here today.
Now, not only do you guys have product actually set up on the bike, but you have some set up behind us as well. Tell us a little bit about what this is showing and where viewers at home can possibly get some of your product.
Yeah, so what Burn Stainless, we have a history of motorsports. So since about the mid-'80s, Jack Burns, the founder of the company, has been fabricating exhaust components out of stainless steel. So really, Jack was one of the forerunners in the stainless steel world. We've been doing work with the NASCAR Cup Series for many, many years. Up until the 2000s, I think we were running, we look at the winners and we were running like 7 or 8 out of the 10 that would win a race. We're running Burn Stainless components. So really built our legacy there. We've done other things such as built the exhaust systems for the Porsche Singer, if anybody is familiar with that car, as well as working with another hypercar company now called Zinger, where we're designed and built a muffler for that vehicle. So a big history in motorsports and in performance, and most of that has been in providing components for fabricators to actually build on their own bikes, because as you know, all racing is pretty much prototype.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was going to ask, what attracted you guys to becoming a part of the BRL and bringing your product line?
Harley. We've been working with Harley racers since I remember going back and looking. I think the first time we worked with a guy by the name of Tom Bradford that was running in Pro Stock Harley Davidson drag racing, and we helped him design his exhaust. And then from there, we just kept on working with people, never providing a full solution. And back in about 2015, we decided, you know what, we're going to start providing just a bolt-on product for these guys that are racing. And we kind of started in that drag racing market and pushing our products there, built the bolt-on systems, we just show you an example of here. And but we still work with the racers that are having customized systems that are specific to them, and that's where all of these components are done. Our most biggest thing that we probably do is the merge collector. That's what has really been the cornerstone of the company, and knowing how to not only fabricate them so that they're precise, but to design them so they work best for a particular engine combination.
Well, that is impressive to hear, and definitely sounds like somebody that should be hanging out with us here at the BRL. Well, Vince, thank you for the time,
right,
and we appreciate you having you guys on board with us.
All right, very good. I enjoyed being with you.
There you go, guys. That's Vince from Burn Stainless. Check him out. Always great to get some new faces out here at the Bagger Racing League, and this is part of the reason I said you guys have got to whether go on Bagger Racing League's Instagram, baggerracingleague.com, and find your local BRL event, because the Fan Fest, the Grid Walk going on right now, this is your chance to get up close and personal with these machines, with these riders. It is so cool, Dave. We talk about kind of flipping that racer mentality off and on. These riders, they're shaking hands. Look at that. Jake Masters giving some hugs. It is all about the fan experience out here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway and at the Bagger Racing League.
Where else can you actually get on the track with the riders and spend a little time with them right before they race? It doesn't happen anywhere, and here you can do that. It's just a family atmosphere. You can take your kids out. You know, these guys become heroes to a lot of these kids as they grow up watching the Bagger Racing League, and they get to go out and actually meet their heroes.
Yeah, not only do they get the chance to get up close and personal with them, we get a chance to catch up with some of those riders right before they go out on track as well. Rocket Rob Bida standing by with some of our BRL racers.
Well, we're down here trackside talking to some of the riders that are about to get out on the track and do battle. The first guy we're going to talk to, Danny Spina, a local to this part. He's been hanging out with us the last couple years here. You want to take that helmet off and be all sexy for the crowd out there? Let them know that you're Twisted Steel and sex appeal.
Good.
We're down here on the grid. Obviously, the fans have an opportunity to come out and spend some time. You got about 20 minutes here to kind of rest it up, get mentally ready to go. What's going through your brain right now?
You know, we've had obviously been battling quite a bit of little gremlins here and there. So, you know, just hoping that we've gotten everything figured out. My mechanic Deacon, he's been busting his butt tirelessly to run through, get everything going. So, you know, we believe that we found the issue. So just looking to put down some fun laps and, you know, get through this.
We got a big field of baggers. You know that getting a good start's going to be pretty critical.
Yeah, as you guys can see, I've been definitely choking on my starts lately. So, definitely something to focus on, because that's going to be essential for me to set some pace.
Well, best of luck. We certainly hope that you have a great race, and see you on the podium.
You got it.
Danny Spina down here on the grid. We're going to slide over here. Talk to Tony Salima. We got his own personal shade keeper over here. Tony, come join me over here if you would. The FDR Clinic is one of these organizations that continues to just give back to the industry. If they have an injured rider, something, they look after them. And Tony's been one of the early true pioneers of Harley-Davidson going to the racetrack. And now here we are, the interviews, the opportunity for your team, your family, everybody to be here. And we want to welcome you back to the track, my friend.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for putting on this awesome show, Rob. I mean, we never would have thought a few years back we'd be sitting under that tent, and then look at us now, right? It's like, but huge shout out to FDR Foundation, the Frankie Dean Racing Youngblood Crew Collective. We got a great team, a good bunch of people trying to do good work, helping people out that are getting, in wrecks and stuff like that. So we're out there helping the community, and we're just trying to show some love and win some races. You know what I mean? So it's good to be back.
Well, we want to wish you best of luck down there. We know that the nerves, the butterflies, everything starts to turn into pterodactyls about riding the belly. So best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, brother. We'll try to get to the start line today. We're gonna give them hell. So we'll see you guys out there.
Best of luck to Tony Salima. Let's make our way over here to the pole position in the grid. They had a chance to come up here real quick. And we got Cody Gilmore over here now. Cody Gilmore has joined the BRL a couple of years ago. He started off on the Suburban Harley-Davidson Sportster. After a spectacular season on that, Joe Hupp decided, you know what, let's put him on one of the baggers. Last year, he finished undefeated. Today, he sits on pole position in our premier class, the Andrews Bagger GP. He finished second yesterday, battling some gremlins. Right now, at the finish of the race, a strong ride. You could be the points leader going into Hastings, Nebraska.
Yeah, which is a total surprisement after the weekend we've had. So, man, I guess it proves to stay in it and keep going and trying to make things better, and if we can get this bike working. I finally got a couple laps in this morning without too many issues, so I think we should be good for this race. If I can get myself up to speed a little bit, should at least be able to get out and do some battling. So we'll see how it goes and get out there and have some fun.
We were talking to Danny just a minute ago. A whole shot is so critical in this to be able to set the pace. You're one of those riders, though. You like to actually pursue a little bit, too. You let the race come to you.
Yeah, it just depends, if I feel like I have the track down, I want to get the whole shot and get going, but honestly, I still don't even have the fast line around this place, so being behind someone that knows their way around the track might not be hurtful, but at the same time, I'm a racer, and you don't really want to be following anyone, so I'm going to go for the whole shot and let them pass me if they have to, and we'll go from there, but we'll see what we can do and see if I can drop my lap time some, and we've made a couple more changes to the bike, and I think it's going to help. So we'll see what happens.
Well, best of luck to you. We hope you have a great race.
Thank you.
Slide back here a little bit. We're going to go to Jake Masters. Now, a lot of the race fans have heard that the BRL is going international over into Europe and also into Australia, and the individual that brought it to Australia is Jake Masters. Now, Jake, last year in the Super Street class, undefeated. You moved up to the Pirelli Pro Stock class, one race in the book, undefeated. You have not tasted defeat on a...
Pretty crazy. I wasn't expecting coming in to do that yesterday, so hopefully go out for another race and ride my own race and stay upright and on two wheels, but I'm super excited to get back out there. We got a full grid. It's going to look awesome on TV, so I hope everyone's tuned in.
Well, you know that they're going to be tuned in. Let's talk real quick about Australia. Obviously, you're heading in the wintertime down there as we come up on summer. You were talking that it's going to start with track days, morph into some racing, and the folks down under better get ready.
Yeah, for sure. Alpha Performance Engines and I put in a lot of work on getting track days going this year. We've already got 3 locked in. We're about to announce the dates, and by next year we'll have a full race schedule. So it'll be full racing here and Australia, and then Europe next. So it's going to be very exciting for the whole Bagger Racing League.
BRL America, BRL Australia, to you, Jake Masters. We slide over here to a man very familiar to the BRL audience. They know his voice. We've talked to him on the podium already this weekend, but this is why you're really here. The Pro Stock Bagger class and Tony Tucker, you got the whole team out here, and we want to wish you best of luck, but are you ready to go? You just got off the podium, now you're right back on the bike.
We're right back in it. I'm a little tired, but it's been a long weekend, but I'm ready to go. And I can't say I've ever been more excited to be on the grid than with the group of guys that we have right here today. Great to be back in the pits and on the bike this year. And overall, it's already been a successful weekend for us, and I hope to put the cherry on top here in the Pro Stock class.
Well, we wish you best of luck, and have a great ride out there.
Will do. Thanks, Rob.
Tony Tucker here. We're going to slide right over here to our buddy Brian. Give me just a second here, if you wouldn't mind. I'll be back to see you in a second. All right, so Brian Shields.
Yeah.
We got the bagger ready to go. You got the track dialed in on the lightweight Superbike. Boom, here you are back on the bagger.
Yeah, we're absolutely thrilled to be out here today for the BRL at Chuckwalla on the hard drive American V-Twin Products bike. Thankful to get it out on track for race 2 here today. We're going to try to put down some decent laps today and see if we can finish on a podium.
Well, best of luck to you. I know that you guys worked hard to get this thing ready to go. Let's see if all the work pays off.
We're excited, so thank you.
Brian Shields, Penn, Ohio Motorsports in the house. We're going to slide back here a little bit to the next row. We'll be in the Barnett Super Street category right now. We have Carl Schlacht. He's a real double-duty guy, racer in the afternoon, the BRL social media marketing director at night. Carl, hole shots have been your forte. Now we just got to put all the rest of the package.
Yeah, I just, I got to make up as much time as I can. Some of these guys, they're just real fast and having a lot of fun out here, Rob. Thanks for keeping this all going and getting us all out here. And, man, it's growing big. So we're pumped to be on the line. Had some troubles this weekend, but I'm just very thankful to be out here. So thanks.
Well, best of luck to you. We know that you're going to get a great start out there. We slide right over to another Speed Farm member right here. Last year, in the Aircooled class,
yes, sir,
you brought the heat. Now you build a bagger. You're coming up. Seems like every time we see you on the bike, you get more and more comfortable. I think this might be a real turning point for you today.
I don't know about today. This is a tough track. I've kind of struggled all weekend. We had a lot of guys go down yesterday, so I'm really just kind of planning on playing it safe, make it home to my family.
Well, being safe, one thing. We'll be heading in Nebraska in about a month, and I got a feeling every time we see you, you're just going to be more and more comfortable on this bike.
That's the plan. Found a couple things I need to work on, so we'll go back home, do some homework, and see what we can bring to Nebraska.
Well, be safe out there and have some fun, and hope to see you down on the podium. Let's slide over here. And we've got Brandon Feuling. We're going to have a chance to get in here and talk to him real quick. This guy comes from a background in the stunt world, the moto world, the pit bike world, you name it. The only world he didn't come from is road racing world. Guess what? He has one race under his belt. He gapped the field, and you're undefeated so far. What a way to go.
Yeah, it feels good. It's definitely a new feeling being on the pavement, But I'm stoked to be out there. We got a stack class taking off today, so it'll be a good time.
You talk about a good time out there. You're going to have a couple guys in front of you that could set a pace. I know that you're somebody that you could see it, you could be it, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm stacked right behind both my teammates, so hopefully get a good start and get some chasing, chase them down.
Well, best of luck to you out there. Have a great ride. Slide back a little bit further. Now, the Figurati, the whole Figurati team's over here. These guys made the big journey all the way from North Carolina. By day, a drag specialties rep in the dealership with the fat book, showing everybody the parts, the accessories that comprise one of these. Maybe they want something from the old book, but what he does is works hard enough that he was able to build himself a race bagger. Mr. Mike Corey, congratulations. We talked about it just a short time ago, and now here you are.
That's right, and I appreciate that, and I couldn't do this without the help of Figurati and Jaybird's Custom Cycles and all of my sponsors. It's all come together and making a dream come true.
You know, I know there's a lot of people out there that are probably figuring, you know, I'm pretty good on the street, you know, I'm ridden a little moto, and, you know, I think I could probably jump on it. It's a bit of a different beast out there, but the thing they have to do is do it. Talking about it's one thing, doing it, that's a whole nother animal.
Yeah, I mean, it is a whole nother animal just coming out here and riding on a track compared to the street. You could be fast on the street, but when you come to the track, it'll humble you real quick, but it is doable. You know, don't be afraid to do it. If you think you're fast on the street and you have a performance bagger, come out, join us. It's easy, it's fun, make it happen.
You know, you were talking track days are the first thing to go through, a little bit of a race school, and now here you are competing. We wish you best of luck. Hope you have a great day today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you for the event.
Mike Corey coming over here. He'll be back at the dealerships on Monday. Don't you worry about it. We slide over here to another one of the sexier bikes on the grid, the Tucker Speed guys. And Jace, you were watching, you were helping, now all of a sudden you're competing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a totally different experience. You know, I've been helping Tony out for about the past 10 years on the track, and we decided this year he's going to give me a shot just to get out here and give it a go out here on road racing. Totally different experience, let me tell you, being on this side.
What do you got? We were talking to some of the other guys. What advice would you give the folks that are at home that they're watching? They know they've got a pretty good bike in the garage. What advice would you tell them?
I would say, first off, go to your local track, hopefully they have a good new racer school, and take that course and just go get after it. You know, everybody wants to sit here and think about it and say, yeah, I want to do that. Well, just get out here and do it. And that's what I'm doing, and I'm having a blast.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you out here having a good time. We're going to slide over here and talk to Sean Hoffman. Now, Sean's another one of these individuals that's a multi-generation racer, coming from the dad who was a battler on GT80s and snowmobiles and everything. Here he is, newlywed, mechanic by day. Last year he came out racing and put together a streak of podium rides. Yesterday, one of the biggest saves we've seen in BRL, and you're back ready to go again today. Welcome back to Chuckwalla.
Thanks for having me, Rob. Just been fighting some bike setup throughout all weekend, and I think I finally got her dialed in, so let's see if we can make her up to the top. I got a lot of people to thank, including my wife, who's about to have our first kid May 5th, and my mom and my dad, Suburban Motors, Larry from DP Brakes, can't thank him enough, and a whole bunch of family and friends that are behind me.
Well, we certainly appreciate all the hard work that you put in here as well. Best of luck today, and hope to see you on the podium as well.
Thank you, Rob.
Sean Hoffman. Let's take a walk back here. All right, now here's an interesting story. You always got to have an interesting story when you're doing bagger racing. Back in the wintertime, back in February, we built this bike. When I say we, Suburban Harley Davidson, at Drag Specialties MVP. They put it together out of the Fat Book. We built the bike, and before we were done, Junior from Lifestyle Cycles, who's going to join me in the camera shot here in a second, said, hey, I got to get to the airport, but before I go, I just bought that. We're like, oh my goodness. So he buys it off Joe. Joe gets it back to the dealership. They finish up the bike, send it to him. He goes, I'm going to put it on the showroom floor. Then he meets Frankie Garcia. They decide to come out here today. Let's just ride the bike.
All we're going to do is take content, some video, run it around the track, have some fun.
And then all of a sudden, the race bug bit him. Let's move over here. Now, Frankie Garcia was with us at the very first bagger race ever. There's talk all about ever, okay? He finished third at that race. He's been affiliated with the Factory Harley Davidson program, Indian program, you name it, at the highest level. He came out today as kind of a test rider. He was just going to shake it down for him, get some social content. Started having fun. You saw the smile creeping in. You saw Junior getting all excited. He's thinking, the next thing you know, they buy a transponder, they enter him in the class. Now, he would not have to start at the back of the grid if he would have properly qualified a couple days ago, because we know the speed's there, but he's literally going to be the last bike on the grid. I don't think you're going to be the last bike on the grid for long.
Yeah, I mean, we're just here having fun, but I mean, like I said,
I rode this thing this morning, and I was only supposed to ride practice on it, and when practice was over, I hadn't got enough of it. So here we are. We're sitting back here, and we're gonna have some fun with these guys. You know, I spent so much time racing baggers. It was my job for the last 5 years, and you know, I spent the last season on the sidelines, and you know, I've missed it quite a bit, and this just is a testament to that. You know, I showed up to ride this thing, and here we are racing. So it's really cool. It's special to be here with you. I mean, you're the godfather of all this. You created this. Without you, we wouldn't have all this. So I've never been able to attend one of your races and to be here with you. And you know, we've been in this since the beginning together, and it's pretty special. So Lifestyle Cycles, you know, it's really cool. They had a Harley Davidson for me to ride, and you know, I'm not going to say no to that. So we're going to have some fun.
Harley Davidsons are obviously kind of the bike of choice, as you see, but don't forget, Indian, we know those Challenger out there are something pretty special. We've seen them at the highest of levels, so don't be scared to come out here. We want to wish you good luck. We know that you probably got about, 40 minutes on this bike, maybe total in its whole life, and now we're ready to take it through the ultimate pace, and that's a race.
Yeah, I mean, this is the least amount of time I've ever spent on a bike before I raced it, and, you know, I showed up last night. I went to the American Flat Track race in Ventura last night, and I didn't have much sleep, but you know how it is. Like you said, the bug bit me, and here we are. You know, my leathers are here, the bike's here. Why not? You know, we're going to have some fun.
Well, that's the lineup of the grid here. Frankie Garcia all the way up to Cody Gilmore and the rest of the guys. Gang, we are just about ready to get these guys turned loose. We'll get the time. We've got them on tire warmers. We want to make sure everything's up to the optimal temperature. We are going to be back shortly with the Andrews Bagger GP, the Pirelli Pro Stock, and the Barnett Super Street class. The grid's filled. The crowd is excited. We're getting ready to go racing.
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, one of those riders that we heard Rob talking to a little bit earlier was the 199 of Daniel Spina out of our Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class, and we were talking to a race mode Danny Spina, but yesterday we were able to catch up with a celebratory Danny Spina. Even after a little bad luck in that final race, he was celebrating a great day's result and able to talk to us a little bit about his expectations coming into day 2.
Hey everybody, I am here with Danny Spina, who has had quite the day doing 2 classes, and you want to explain to us all the amazing things that happened out there too?
Absolutely. First and foremost, as the late and great Lightning McQueen says, ka-chow. It was such a wild race. Started off in liquid twins. We started off nice and strong. Pan America was working great. Had an unknown gremlin come through and kind of blew me out of the water in lap 3, so I had to park it. And then after that, for our Pro Stock race, bike, great stack grid. Everybody out there was super talented. I had a really bum start, but just put my head down, continue to grind. I know what I'm capable of over at this track, and I knew I could squeeze a little bit out. So I was mainly being patient, allowing the 2 front runners to kind of battle, wear each other out, and then, ultimately, try to capitalize on some kind of mistake or something like that. Coming around last lap, feeling good, spread a nice gap, and bike goes, no, we're done running today, and I had to glide past and end up losing my P1 from it.
We were watching your patience because you were the hunter and quickly became the hunted, and that was quite a turnaround. It was an amazing race. I'd never seen anything like it. You were coming on in, and when the winner's waving you like, what's going on, dude? That was incredible.
Yeah, I just had to make the most of it and just really laugh at the situation, right? It's like, what are we going to do? We just have to, I was more or less concerned about getting the machine over the finish line and salvaging as much as we could. And the fans, they were super supportive. They were riled up. They were excited that we just kept pushing. So, we're never done until we're done. So, and I wasn't about to give up and, just had to keep pushing.
That's why you're a crowd favorite, because it's that attitude. It is overcome no matter what. Absolutely. And you did a fantastic job out there in the strangest of circumstances. So glad you're glad you're all good and ready to go for tomorrow.
Absolutely. I look super forward to tomorrow, and we'll see what we can pull off.
All right, everybody. Danny Spina back out on the track tomorrow. Back to you, Zach.
Well, Danny Spina, always a fan favorite, and that mindset, a big part of it as well. There you see the 199 locked in. He's in race mode and getting ready to do some battle. Unfortunately, one of the riders that we will not be seeing lining up today is the 951 of Clay Braun, Youngblood himself. He went down yesterday and unfortunately just a little banged up. The machine just a little bit too broken, and I think we were able to talk to Clay a little bit earlier.
All right, everybody. I'm here with Clay Braun, who's had quite a day with the FDR racing team. Tell us about what's going on. You were out in front, and boy, everything just changed suddenly. What happened?
So I mean, the conditions today are kind of nuts. Winds everywhere. You got dust bunnies flying around. You know, and the race started good. I was, following Ruben. He was showing me really good lines, and he started gapping me, and I started riding my own ride. And next thing you know, Jake Masters is showing me a little bit of tire, and I couldn't have that. I mean, that's how racing goes. You get pushed by one of your really good friends, and he's a ripper. On and off the track. He rides dirt bikes, so he just showed me a tire, and I said, man, I got to push it, and I gave myself some length from him, and I'll tell you, I think I had a gust of wind come up from under me and just kind of take my front tire out, and I think I got a broken finger, so my bike's in pieces right now. We're using it to kind of get Tony's bike back together, and he's going to be out here tomorrow, and I'll be full support with him.
Other than that, everything else is okay?
Yeah. I mean, I hit a personal record this weekend. I ran a 156. I've never done that. This is my first year back after my accident, so I kind of got to look at the bright side. I have a team that's fully backing us, and we're a family ran team, and we're gonna be back tomorrow and hopefully on the box again.
You seem to have the speed whenever you needed it, and it was there at all times, and just ended up being a little too much right at the end for the conditions that took place. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I mean, like I said, I don't know what happened. I just know I was here, there, in a turn, and then gone. So yeah, I mean, we'll take it as a learning lesson, and we'll go from there. We're still in the lead for points. I won't be racing tomorrow, but hopefully we can come up with some type of wizardry somewhere.
Guys, rough day today, but if you know Clay, he's going to be back, and he is going to be looking for points next time. And guys, he's going to be in the race all the time. So he's looking for points standing, and watch out for Clay. He's coming up for you.
And great to see Clay. Unfortunately, a little banged up, but nonetheless still got the smile on the face and still supporting that FDR racing team. Hey, once again, a big thank you to our friends over at Ultracool Oil Cooling Systems for not only jumping on board with the Bagger Racing League in 2025, but for being out here in person with us this weekend at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. Some of our top athletes, including the 374 of Cody Gilmore, your pole position qualifier, running Ultracool, and at the pace these guys run it, if they can trust it, you can trust it in your machine as well. So looks like we've got the warm-up lap just about complete as our riders are taking the grid. And if you guys are enjoying this live broadcast on Bagger Racing League and RacerTV.com, that is all thanks to our friends at Newcastle Harley-Davidson. Newcastle bringing you this live coverage both yesterday and today. And we owe them a big thank you for letting us share the world of Bagger Racing League with all of our friends and family back at home. Here we go, Dave, the final race of the afternoon, round 2. It all comes down to this: Pirelli Pro Stock class, Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger, and, of course, our Andrews Bagger GP class. We're off and racing.
And you notice Frankie Garcia has already moved up a couple of places right there. He just took off like a shot. And they're coming around the first turn there. Nicely spread out, and people are finding their positions.
Everybody kind of shuffling into those early race spots. Let's see who that is out front. Just lose them in the glimmer of this Southern California sun.
I think that's Cody Gilmore up there. Is that?
Might have been Gilmore, and it is the 374. Great
there we go.
Job there, Hollywood. So Cody Gilmore leading the way out of that Andrews Products Bagger GP class. Looks like that is Danny Spina in the number 2 class, or number 2 position, but leading the way in our Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class.
Danny Spina, one of the greatest guys, and a super attitude. If you were given an award for positive attitude, it goes to Danny Spina. Very, very strong this weekend, ready to go.
Yeah, he's oh, and look at that. Our leader, Cody Gilmore, going down.
Ooh.
Not how he was wanting to start the race, and this has been a tough weekend for Cody. Really been struggling to get comfortable on that GP machine, and unfortunately just wound up losing it. And you can see a little frustrated there for Gilmore. So that is going to hand the physical lead over to the 199 of Danny Spina. Looked like that was Tony Salima just behind him on the number 12. And Tony, we never even got to see in a lap of racing yesterday, actually going down in that warm-up lap. The back end stepped out on him, and he went for a ride. So good to see Tony lining back up. They got that machine put back together, and he's putting that FDR Racing Youngblood Collective machine back out there. That is actually Jake Masters in the number 2 spot on the number 9 Sly Fox back Harley Davidson. So Masters, who we saw in a tooth and nail battle with Spina yesterday, trying to bring that fight back to the 199. And here is a replay of that crash from Cody Gilmore as your leaders make their way across the stripe. Watch the front of your screen, and yeah, pretty much just washed and low-sided that machine, went sliding off course.
Yes, you can see the skid line right there as he went off course.
So making their way back through the back end of the track, watching your leader on screen, the 199 of Danny Spina. He's on that National City Harley Davidson Excellence Moto Design backed Harley. And we were talking to Danny at the start of this weekend about just getting some new sponsorship to be a part of the entire season. He's now not only trying to be a part of it, he wants to be walking away with a number 1 plate.
He absolutely does, and he's not going to settle for anything else but the number 1 plate, and he just loves racing, loves everything about it. Any type of machine, he wants to race it, and just always positive attitude.
So as they came across the stripe last, it was Danny Spina leading the way, Jake Masters, Tony Salima in 3rd, then Brendan Foley in the 4th place, physically on track. Foley is leading the way out of our Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. Don't forget, yesterday, the first time he's ever raced with us here at Bagger Racing League. He's on the machine. Jake Masters took to an undefeated championship last year, and he showed, I don't know if it's just the bike, but the rider certainly got the speed to go along with it, as now we are watching Brendan Foley applying the pressure to the back of Tony Salima.
Boy, he is getting him right in position. He's trying to come around and pass him on the outside. He's trying to get that little slingshot effect in some of these turns right there. He's coming around he's just hunting.
And Foley kind of caught in a Tony sandwich, if you will. He's got Salima in front of him and our very own Tony Tucker just behind him. So playing offense and defense at the same time, and it looks like they've got the 99 of Frankie Garcia just behind them as well, making this a 4-rider battle.
Yeah, Frankie Garcia's got a lot of power in that Lifestyle Cycles bike right there. First time he's really ridden it, first time in a race. So that's going to be really fascinating to see how he does on that.
And that is not what we saw yesterday in this Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. Once the 29 of Brendan Foley got out front, he started to check out on that performance machine Harley Davidson. So now with Frankie Garcia maybe able to keep the pressure on, this could be a big shakeup at the front of that Super Street class.
It absolutely could, and everybody is within striking distance, especially in these curves. Check that out. They just get up close and try to find that one line that'll give them just a little bump that gets them in front.
Yeah, you talk about the difference in riding styles. Did you see how much of the track Brendan Foley was using?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Salima not really doing a lot of side-to-side motion. He seems to have his lines picked out, knows exactly where he wants to go. And Tucker in a bit of a tough spot as well. We know he wants to apply some pressure to Brendan Foley, but man, how about it? Frankie Garcia making it tough on the 477.
Wow, they're coming around so quickly right there. Look at how far down Frankie is going. He's got almost a knee down. He's going down a little bit further than anybody else going around those curves.
He's clearly showing the confidence that he has on this new machine, and you got to think lap by lap that's going to start to grow as well.
Absolutely, and it's really good to see him out there. Great to have Lifestyle Cycles as a big sponsor of the VRL, so that's good to have them out here. Love all that they do.
Watching that Lifestyle Cycles Harley trying to find a way around the Tucker Speed Shop back ride of Tony Tucker, and he is right on the rear wheel now. Tony able to stretch it out just a little bit, but you can see Garcia charging just a little harder into those corners. He peeks up the inside. Could that be the pass? I think it was.
I think it was, yeah. He positioned him properly and just waited for Tony to go a little outside and just took it on the inside.
Meanwhile, all by his lonesome out front. No complaints, I'm sure, with that. Danny Spina not under any immediate pressure, and this is exactly what he wanted to do yesterday. He did not get a bit of breathing room all day yesterday. Meanwhile, today, Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger win looks to be his if he can keep it on two wheels.
Danny Spina's been real frustrated all weekend with his starts, and so for him to have a good start, to get out in front, and now to start pulling away a little bit, I'm happy for him. He's probably very, very excited. There's a big grin in that helmet.
Oh, without a doubt, and I can't wait to hear those podium interviews afterwards as well, as he is now just about 10 seconds in front of Jake Masters in the number 2 spot. Masters walking away with a win after that undefeated 2024 season. Masters, I think he knows maybe that one got handed to him a little bit. We even saw him turn around as he went across the finish line, kind of saying, what in the world? I thought I was bringing home a silver. So Masters is going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit if he wants to find a way to chase down the 199. And then here is that 4-rider duel starting to stretch out a little bit as they're making their way through Crash Corner. But Tony Salima able to respond to the pressure from Brendan Foley, and this is why Tony is one of the vets that he doesn't get rattled very easily. You're not going to break him on pressure. You're not going to get inside his head. Tony, he's been there. He's done that. He knows how to get the job done.
Absolutely. And once again, we're actually seeing a lot of patience in each of these riders, which is what they need, because I think a lot of people realize, you know what, this track can step up and bite you at any point. So they're being really cautious. However, they're still all out, finding that line.
We're just about halfway through this final race of the afternoon. Our Andrews Products Bagger GP class, Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger, and Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger classes all out on track. And I love this. This is some of the fastest riders that we have. It does sound like Cody Gilmore calling it a day after that early race get off, so not what Gilmore was hoping for. But, man, to have your winners from yesterday, Jake Masters, Danny Spina, and then, of course, Brendan Foley as well, out there on track at the same time. I think Foley may be able to take a little bit of notes now, say, okay, these guys still got some tricks up their sleeves that I need to pick up on.
Absolutely. Now, if you remember, I mean, Spina was out in front, and, of course, suddenly the bike just shut off. So don't forget, you can be just 100 yards away from the finish line, and that doesn't mean you're going to be the winner.
Yeah, this thing is far from over, and we talk about those gremlins, and it seemed like everybody had some. We had some electrical gremlins, some mechanical gremlins, but it seemed like everybody had just a little something not going their way. So this thing is far from over. Yes, Spina has opened up just about a 10-second gap now, but because he's out by his lonesome, not really focused on that razor's edge, a small little mistake, maybe an unpredictable gust of wind. So many things can happen here in the second half of this race.
We had so much that went wrong with so many of the bikes. It was interesting going through the pits last night. There wasn't a team that wasn't working on something.
Yep. Yeah, the dinners were short yesterday, we'll put it like that. Everybody had work to do. And unfortunately, our reigning Bagger GP champ, Ruben Zaus, not joining us here today. So that Feuling crew had a lot of work to do, and not sure whether Ruben wasn't feeling up to it or whether they weren't able to get that machine put back together. But unfortunately, the number one not lining up with us here today, which also sets a very interesting picture for the overall championship. You know, the age-old saying, you can't win your championship on the opening round, but you can certainly lose it. Some of these riders with a point to prove, you know, Clay Braun, he's got a bit of a gap to make up to. now Ruben Zal's having to deal with missing the race as well, as it looks like Brendan Foley is now having to deal with Frankie Garcia, who has made the move into the 5th place spot and is applying pressure to the back of the 29.
And he's really trying to come up on the outside there. Oh, once again, trying to take that outside-inside line.
And this is for the lead in that Barnett Clutches and Cable Super Street bagger class, Dave. Sorry to cut you off there. I didn't realize these guys in the same class, so Frankie trying to steal away a perfect score so far this weekend for Foley.
And, you know, Frankie would just love to just come out here. After last night he was racing up in Ventura, comes down here, and he would love to just take that win.
You never know who's going to line up, even on our doubleheader weekends of Bagger Racing League. And Garcia says Sunday is his day as he is starting to apply the pressure to Foley. Now, don't forget, Brendan Foley, relatively new to the BRL world. He does do some stunt riding on Harleys and then comes from an off-road motorcycle racing background. But in these kinds of conditions, hot under pressure, you got to think Garcia's maybe got the upper hand.
And, you know, Garcia hasn't ridden on a bagger for quite a while, so this is the first time he's been racing on a bagger for a long, long time. But he seems completely comfortable and right at home, and you're seeing him just looking for that line. He's just looking for that little bit of weakness, waiting for that moment when Brendan Foley just makes a mistake, and he's going to take it right there. Look at that. He is just following just... In these straightaways, you're doing 120 miles an hour, and you were following this guy so close, waiting for just a hiccup.
Yeah, it comes down to a game of inches out here, and it's so crazy to talk about that. You know, 2.68 miles a lap, over 120 miles an hour at some point. Meanwhile, they are mere feet, inches apart in some spots. It just shows the level of competition that we have out here. Is you see Garcia grabbing a handful of that Lifestyle Cycles Harley, pulls up to the rear wheel up to 29 again. You saw he got a little bit of shake there. He's hard on those brakes. Garcia is pushing it. He wants that number 1 spot.
He absolutely does. He is going to do everything he can to get by Brendan Foley and just try to keep himself in that striking position to where all it takes is one little mistake.
Not quite the same success that we saw yesterday for the 718 of Jake McGuire. So things kind of turning around a bit for him. Meanwhile, Foley finds himself still holding on to the lead on that Performance Machine-backed Harley-Davidson. But how long can he keep up the pressure from Frankie Garcia? Looks like he responded a little bit. Garcia going to go back, try to pick out a spot, get this thing done as we're getting into the closing few laps. It is still the 199 of Danny Spina out front. Masters kind of in no man's land, stuck in between. Got a little over a 10-second gap both in front and behind him. So meanwhile, Tony Salima, a little bit of a similar situation. Not anybody really right in front of him. There you see him at the bottom of your screen as we take this Bridgestone live drone. As once again, look at the line selection from Garcia. He's never following directly behind Brendan Foley. He's peeking to the outside. He cuts a little bit tighter on some of these exits. He is desperately trying to find something that Foley hasn't got figured out.
And, you know, for Foley, that's the mental fatigue with he's on the left, he's on the right, he's on the left. And so you're having to protect both sides of the bike, and it plays with your mind. And, and that's what Frankie's doing right now. There's some mind games going on out there.
Well, it's not just getting physically exhausting, it's mentally exhausting as well, because there is only one lap of racing. Your leader right there on screen, the 199 of Danny Spina, has taken the white flag here in this Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class. Our Andrews Products Bagger GP class and Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger all out on track right now. But man, how about it? A breakout weekend for Danny Spina. Multiple podium rides, and got to think those new sponsors that jumped on board with him going to be very excited as he is trying to take his National City Harley-Davidson Excellence Moto designed ride to the top step of the podium. Just one more trip around this Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. We'll be celebrating with Rob Bidas shortly.
As long as he does it under power, he'll be happy, because that'll be a change from yesterday.
Yeah, this is a guy we cannot say anything until he's across the line, because it just when we thought we had seen it all,
it was sheer force of will that actually brought the bike across yesterday with no motor going. just an electrical glitch, but he's running smooth today.
Well, Spina wasn't giving up. He'd have pushed that thing across the line if he had to.
Absolutely, he would have.
Trying to bring it home in the closing couple of corners for the 199 of Danny Spina here in the Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class. Got a little bit of lap traffic just in front of him. Gonna try to tuck back underneath, and just a corner or so to go. And let's see, he's still under power, and it's going all the way. There it is, the 199 of Danny Spina, gonna grab the win in your Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class aboard that National City Harley-Davidson Excellence Moto designed ride. The battle rages on for the win in your Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. Look at this, Dave. They're pulling up alongside the final few corners.
Frankie's keeps going to that outside, then the inside, and he is just looking for an opening here. Brendan Foley doing a great job of playing defense and blocking on this, but boy, Frankie is right there.
Riding a wide bike. Let's see, Garcia running out of time. Is he going to be able to do it? Exiting that final corner. It's a drag race to the finish line, and it looks like the streak stays alive. Brendan Foley going to grab the win in your Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class, just in front of Frankie Garcia. And it does look like Jake Master is going to cross the line second out of your Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class, with Tony Salima going to round out the podium. And you see those two riders high-fiving, Frankie Garcia and Brendan Foley. That was a fun one to watch, let alone to be a part of.
You know, it's so amazing to watch with such a great race, and there's so much respect between the two of them.
Well, let's break down exactly how this race went to close out round number 2 with our Alpine Star Rapid Replay. Take a look off the start, our long-anticipated race of the afternoon, and looked like it was Cody Gilmore jumping out front early, and we thought that might be all she wrote. Gilmore looking very strong yesterday, but just a small mistake causes Gilmore to low side to go sliding off the track, and unfortunately having to call it a day early out of that Bagger GP class. Meanwhile, that set the stage for one heck of a ride in our Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class. Danny Spina got into that number 1 spot and started to ride away. This was the battle on screen that we enjoyed for several laps. Tony Salima out of that bagger, the Pirelli Pro Stock class, battling with some of our Super Street Bagger leaders. There you see Brendan Foley applying the pressure, and then back there just a couple of spots, Frankie Garcia driving through the night, coming to race with us here this morning for the Bagger Racing League after American Flat Track yesterday. And he says, man, I knew how to do it out there yesterday. I know how to get the job done here today as well.
Truly impressive ride with, you know, on a bike that he's only spent about 40 minutes on, and a track that's new to him as well, and to come out here and do that, to watch the other riders, to climb the lines, to get his own, and yet still ride his own ride, and choose to continually figure out the track, and he was within striking distance the whole time.
Yep, just came up short of the win. Foley able to hang on by about a bike length or so, but meanwhile, no bike problems this time. Those gremlins are gone, and Danny Spina getting a win in your Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class. Brendan Foley going to bring things home in that Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class. Here is your Alpine Stars top 10. Danny Spina, Jake Masters, and Tony Salima crossing the line physically 1, 2, and 3, with Brendan Foley and Frankie Garcia in that 4th and 5th place spot. Tony Tucker brings it home in 6th place with Jake McGuire, Carl Schlack, Mike Corey, and Sean Hoffman, your top 10. So what a way to close out the second day of racing here from Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. We're going to have podium celebrations coming up next. And once again, there you see everybody getting set up on the podium, which means it's just about time to get the party started. But first, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back for podium celebrations here from the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their Supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17-inch configuration. The Racing Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers presented by Memphis Shade. Once again, a huge thank you to Newcastle Harley-Davidson for bringing you this live broadcast. As now we get ready to throw things down to the podium with Rob Bitus standing by at the podium.
Just wait to stop there all the way across the board. Race fans, do me a favor, make some noise for the podium right here. These guys really play. Woo! So Tony Saluma. Come on, Rob. I think I'm new to these things. So Tony Salima, congratulations. Yesterday, not the way you wanted it to go. Today, 2 giant steps closer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yesterday was a rough day for the team, but you know what? I had to bring one home for us just to finish off the weekend. Dude, it was great racing, and what a good time.
I know that you have a whole crew of people here that help you get here. Make sure you give them a shout out.
Absolutely, dude. The Frankie Dean Racing team, man. That's it right there. Youngblood Collective, and we got Shark Law, Motorcycle Attorneys, Speed Kings, Alloy Art, Runlet Racing, built these machines, and yeah, we got Motool, so many Youngbloods, and thank you everybody. Thanks to everybody for coming out here. Yeah! Stuff, and thanks let's do this. I mean, what the hell? We're out here freaking shredding Harleys, dude. Come on now. Woo! Come on! And thank you to my wife and my family. And thank you, God. Come on.
Paula, come on down here. We got 3rd place with the Figurati Award for Tony Salima.
Woo, thank you so much.
Right now. I know that didn't exactly go the way you wanted, but you find yourself once again in the number 2 spot. Great ride.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't have anything on Danny just then. He got out front and got ahead, but I heard rumours that you're going up to GP. You should stay in Pro Stock so I can race you the rest of the year. I'll get one of them thumb brakes and I'll be up in front with you.
How about giving all the crew that helped you get here a big shout out?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Joe from Suburban Harley, Rory from Bridgestone, Jake for grabbing me on the pit, everyone from Centers Only, Foley, Joey, my partner, Jeanette, for being out here, Sly Fox, Alex, Alloy Art. Yeah, it's a big team of people. Clay, it's not the same as you out up here. I didn't have anyone to follow out there and go faster. But yeah, no, I'm glad we all had a safe race, and yeah, thanks everyone for coming out and supporting.
Jake Masters, everybody, the 2nd place on the day. And picking up the win, the 199 of Mr. Danny Ruthless.
Hey, Rob. Didn't think I was going to make it here, but we're here. All right, so
you know, I literally just been battling some issues with the bike, you know, electrical sensor related, you know, had to shut off on me a couple times, and honestly, you know, my mechanic Deacon, he just literally tirelessly just spent so much time trying to figure out what was going on with the bike, and he gave me a bike that I was able to put on the #1 spot, so that was absolutely massive. You know, conditions, they were great today. Honestly, I just kept thinking manage the race and hope to try to, you know, get as much as I can. And, you know, God forbid it shuts off again last lap right over in turn 3 again. You know, maybe I could at least coast to a finish again. But luckily we didn't have to do it. Came through in its own power, and you know, just super stoked with the result. So.
Well, congratulations. Now, yesterday he finished in the #2 spot. Today, he picks up the #1 spot, but with the tie between he and Jake Masters, the tie down comes to Sunday. Danny Spina, welcome to the Disco Ball Club. You get the official overall necklace for the weekend. How about a big round of applause for the Pirelli Pro Stock class? Yeah! Step up on the box, gentlemen. Let's get a photo of everybody. Hey, now,
So once again, a huge congratulations to our podium finishers in that Pirelli Pro Stock bagger class. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with more podium celebrations after this.
Harley M8 racers win with Braun stainless. Their no-holds-barred exhaust systems are built for one thing, power. With smooth inlets and stepped pipes engineered to keep exhaust velocity high, they squeeze every ounce of torque out of your motor. Their iconic 2-into-1 collector feeds into a reverse cone megaphone for that signature growl and performance edge. Drag strip or road course, Braun Stainless delivers. Get yours at burnstainless.com.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit memphisshades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
It is the day of the specialist. Experts in a class conscious of every nuance. Focus rules. Our specialty is wheels, and wheels only. We respectfully carry the wheelwright legacy into our eccentric world by improving the rides of motorcycles and riders globally. We are proud wheelwrights, nothing more. We are Ride Right. Simple, solid, boundless.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their Supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17 inch configuration. Racing Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. We've got our final few podium celebrations going on right now. Let's get ready to send things back down to the podium as our very own Rob Bitus stands by with our Barnett Clutches and Cables Super Street Bagger class.
What a race out there. You and Carl Schlock get off the line. You guys start back. You travel together. You're racing together, and you edged them out there. Great ride for what was going on. Tell me about this.
These guys checked out pretty quick, so I was trying to get away from Carl, but every time I looked back, he just kept getting closer and closer. He finally got around me and unfortunately went off the track a little bit, but able to make it stick finally.
That was an outstanding ride out there. I know that you don't get out to this race by yourself. Who brought you out here?
It was a huge team. Harley-Davidson Bowling Green, Death Metal Racing, Legend Suspension, G-Brakes, Ultracool, Speed Farm, Revolution Performance, Advan Black, Thunder Max, and Grim Reapers MC. Couldn't have done it without everyone.
Well, congratulations. Paula Fox has a third-place medal for you. Paula will be showing his third-place medal. We're going to slide over here now. Frankie Garcia. Ventura last night, practice, just hanging out, shooting some content. Go, you know what? I think this bike's working pretty good. I'll give it a go. I'll start from the back row. And then you became this man's shadow for all 8 laps.
Yeah, I mean, God, it was, we didn't plan on racing this bike today. I was just going to come out and ride practice. And then once the 2-hour practice was up, I couldn't get enough of it. So we lined her up on the grid, and Lifestyle Cycles said, we got a Harley Davidson Road Glide ready to go, and you want to come out and ride this thing. And it's been a while. I haven't raced or I haven't been on a bagger on a racetrack since November 2023. So I was having a blast all day. But this guy right here, I'm pretty humbled at the moment. This guy's a bad dude. I've raced flat track with him. He's obviously a badass stunt rider, and he's got a ton of craft. And I gave this thing everything it had, and I didn't have anything for this guy today. So, big props to Foley. I was really banking. They call him Grandpa. And I was really banking on the fact that he was going to get tired. And I was like, I'll get him then. And he kept it cool and kept it on 2. And, we were scrapping out there. Both bikes were decking, and he was losing and I was losing it. And, nobody was going to give that up. So props to him. Thanks again to Lifestyle Cycles, BRL. It's cool. This is my first BRL event. And I honestly had a blast. Like, the vibes here are so cool. It's mellow. There's no pressure. I can't. There's not enough I can say about it. You guys are doing a great job. Congrats to everybody out here. This is awesome what you guys are doing, and I'm just happy to be here and be a part of it.
Well, congratulations on finishing in the number 2 spot. How about a nice round of applause for Frankie Garcia? Well, the Suburban Performance Machine Road Glide remains undefeated. That's the closest it's ever come to tasting defeat. Brandon Foley, you're not going to let that happen, are you?
No, man. Yesterday was, it's a pretty open field, and I saw Frankie pull up this morning, and, like Frankie said, me and Frankie have gone back some years, flat track racing and whatnot, so I know he's gonna creep up on me. He showed me his wheel, so it definitely made me, I had to get my composure, and, I was all over the track, trying to not let him pass me, but he was nice to me. Frankie's no slouch.
I know you got some friends that helped you get out there, all that crew in the white shirts. Who you want to thank?
First off, Joe and his wife and everyone over at Suburban Harley, they've been great. They made this happen. The boys over at Bridgestone, Sly Fox, Legend, Performance Machine, Feuling Parts. It takes an army to make this stuff happen. So I'm very, very thankful.
Well, he has the points lead with the perfect 1-1. He gets both the awards, this one and the overall. How about a nice round of applause, if everybody would, for Mr. Brandon Foley. Now you get him all iced up. He looks like Shedeur Sanders with that on right now. He's our number 1 draft pick of the weekend. Gang, why don't you step up on that podium and get a nice shot. Now, don't go anywhere yet because I have a couple other awards that I'm handing out. Look out there to the crowd, everybody. Get these waves. One more time, a nice round of applause, if you would. Now, Philip Doty, Josh Runlet. Where's Mike Corey's mechanic at? I got to think that he's pretty close by. If Mike Corey's mechanic down there can hear me, I have to think that he's close by as well. Hold on 1 second here. Holy, where's your guy with the things? With the things. Phil, and I'd like to get Mike Corey's mechanic up here as well. Mike Corey's mechanic. I know that he's close by. He's probably working on getting that bike loaded up. He has to make it all the way back to North Carolina. That's where they came here. But our friends at Motion Pro, one of the greatest tool companies in the world, said, you know what, the racers, they do a great job. But sometimes it takes the village of the mechanics, the unsung heroes of all of this. I know that these 3 guys right here this weekend busted their butts. And the other one I want to get up here is Carl Schelk's dad. Where's Carl Schelk's dad? I need him up here as well. I think he can hear me. This PA works pretty good. I need Carl Schelk's dad. I want all you guys right here. Come on in real nice and tight so we get you on TV. And if we'll give it a second. I have a feeling that Carl's dad is close by. Here look at him running. That's a Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jacket right there. Bob Packard would have hired him. Come on down here. Now, when I talk about the unsung heroes, I'm talking about the people that burn the midnight oil, spin the wrenches, smash knuckles, have to drive 476 miles once they get here just to get everything. And I feel in my heart that the gang from Motion Pro, they said, make sure you recognize these unsung heroes. So, Paula, we have some BRL awards right here we're going to hand out. Yep. All number 1s. Because these guys are, in my book, number 1s. Get up there nice and close over here this way. We'll start down here. Josh Runlet. He was at the first bagger race there ever was in the whole wide world. Phil Doty had to work like a bad man to come from the racetrack to be in this mechanic. You change the transmission in a bike. That's not easy at a dealership, let alone trackside. And Paul Schlack doing a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Motion Pro mechanics of the event. Now, I know we had a bike show that was going on out there as well. Do we have the awards? 5 minutes and we'll have the awards. What we're going to do, give these guys one more round of applause. And when we come back, gang, we are going to have these awards for the bike show. We're going to throw it back up to you guys to wrap up this show. Folks, what an afternoon here at Chuckwalla. We can't wait to see you at an event soon. Follow the BRL on social media, as well as Instagram, social. Follow our things. Give this video a view, and we're really happy to send it back to the podium. Guys, let's wrap it up.
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, an incredible podium celebration down there to close out day 2 of racing. We're going to take one more quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll give you a day 2 recap as to how the opening weekend came to a close here for the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades. We'll be right back.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their Supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17 inch configuration. The Racing Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
M8 racers win with Braun stainless. Their no-holds-barred exhaust systems are built for one thing, power. With smooth inlets and stepped pipes engineered to keep exhaust velocity high, they squeeze every ounce of torque out of your motor. Their iconic 2-in-1 collector feeds into a reverse cone megaphone for that signature growl and performance edge. Drag strip or road course, Braun Stainless delivers. Get yours at BraunStainless.com.
Make your mark with Memphis Shades, proud sponsor of the 2025 Bagger Racing League. From raw materials to the open road, our windshields and fairings are designed by riders and handcrafted in the heart of Tennessee. Whether it's cross-country or weekend rides, Memphis Shades lets you ride longer, look better, and enjoy every mile. Visit MemphisShades.com to check out our full lineup and upgrade your ride today. Memphis Shades, style that works.
It is the day of the specialist. Experts in a class conscious of every nuance. Focus rules. Our specialty is wheels, and wheels only. We respectfully carry the wheelwright legacy into our eccentric world by improving the rides of motorcycles and riders globally. We are proud wheelwrights, nothing more. We are Ride Right. Simple, solid, boundless.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. We've wrapped up racing for the afternoon, but we still have some more celebrating to do down here on the podium. Once again, want to give a huge shout out to our friends over at Ultracool Oil Cooling Systems for jumping on board in 2025 and for hanging out with us this weekend. And as you can see, it's not always just about what bikes go the fastest. It's about what bikes look the best. We had a bike show going on earlier today, and believe we're going to try to catch up with our winners, voted winners, of course, in that bike show. Talk a little bit about those machines and how they got them looking so dang cool, because that's what it's all about here at the BRL. So just about ready. The crowd, or the podium's getting crowded once again as we get ready to send things back down to Rob Bidas. Look at it. Rob's an announcer, but he's a bit of a superstar as well. You see them getting pictures with everybody, and he's hanging out with our top finishers from our bike show earlier today. All right, folks, so bear with us here. Still getting those show bikes set up, the prized possessions, and you can clearly see why. They are looking fantastic, and I want to give you guys the opportunity to check those things out and hear from their owners as well. This is another great opportunity to just kind of read through and thank all of the amazing people that help put on these BRL events. Everybody from, of course, Drag Specialties, our title sponsor, presenting sponsor, Memphis Shades as well. And look at that, there it is, the best stunt bike getting the award. Love to see it, and I can see why. That is an incredible machine. But big shout out to Memphis Shades and their BRL bubble windscreen, taking kind of the entire series by storm. All of our amazing friends over at Alpine Stars, Barnett Clutches and Cables, Burn Stainless. We just saw one of those Burn Stainless exhausts on that 466 machine. Andrews High Performance Cams and Gears, DP Brakes, heard from Larry Mills a little bit earlier in the program, Bridgestone Tires, Lifestyle Cycles jumping on board, Frankie Garcia making it look good, Dunlop Tires, Zippers Performance Products, Rock Speed FX, Motion Pro, and Figurati Designs making those incredible trophies that we're seeing all year long here at the Bagger Racing League. And we couldn't do it without each and every one of them. Dave, you know as well as I do, when we say it takes a village, it truly does. It's not just not always just about the finance. It's about the support as well. People like Figurati Designs, people like Larry Mills and DP Brakes. They're not just saying, hey, sure, we support you. They're here in person asking how they can help as well.
Absolutely, and they bring some of their products out all the time. It's amazing as you look at these show bikes how many actual sponsors' products are actually on those. You mentioned the Burnside, the Burns
exhaust, yeah, right there on that last shot, yeah.
So so many of these sponsors provide things for each of these bikes, and guys, it does take a village. We've got people behind the scenes. We got so many people that have worked hard to bring this to you, and it's great to see people get on board, like Lifestyle Cycles. You know, they've got their online mega store. Huge.
Let's send things down to the podium, standing by with some of our stunt bike winners,
as well as Rip Jerky, South County Cycles, Progressive Suspension, Bridgestone, pretty much, you know, and a few others, but super stoked. SoCal Twisted Colors with the paint, and they just absolutely killed it.
Hell yeah, man. Bike looks great.
It's a little bit too nice for a stunt bike, I'm not gonna lie.
That's what we're going for, man. Yeah. Congratulations.
But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, next up, we've got this best performance right here with Burn Stainless.
No, that you're going to be.
And this bike is absolutely amazing. I was actually just told by Jason that's the first bike ever that had a set of Bajas in it.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult to build. So they won't repeat that again. But this is made by Aaron and Sean Guardado over at SMCO. They built it about 5 years ago. But this bike is still very, very current, and we really enjoy being partners with Sean and Aaron.
Absolutely, man. Beautiful bike, man. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Thank you for coming, man. Yes, sir. There you go.
Hey, don't go anywhere. Stay right here. You're going to stay on the podium.
And then last but not least, my personal favorite class, because I have a bagger that doesn't really perform that well, but I like to think it does. Ryan CVO over here, man. I've been seeing this bike for a long time. I tried to race him in Arizona one time, and it didn't go too well for me, but absolutely gorgeous CVO right here. Ryan, best bagger. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your bike?
Yeah, it's a 2019 Road Glide. I want to thank Wade at Cycle Lounge. He did a lot of work for my bike. 132 SNS, built motor, Lindahl wheels, Behringer, all alloy art parts, ton of carbon, and other cool stuff.
Absolutely beautiful, man. And thanks for coming out. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir. Rob, you want this back?
Well, gentlemen, step up on the podium, and that is going to be a wrap from BRL here at Chuckwalla. Gang, let's throw it back to the booth. Let's wrap up this present.
All right, thanks, Rob. Incredible stuff down there at the podium. Well, folks, let's take you through a little recap of day 2, round 2 of the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. Dave, we talked about yesterday coming down to a 1/10 of a second. Could we see any of our classes get any closer than that? We sure did, right off the bat.
Right off the bat, it was up down to 1/1000th of a second.
Yep.
And that was incredible racing right at the end there. And we've had battles each and every race. And it's just been incredible to watch the positioning, the strategy, and unfortunately some of the crashes.
Yeah, it's been the highest of highs and the lowest of lows for some of our favorites, and a lot of riders walking away, scratching their head, trying to figure things out for the rest of the season. A lot of riders walking away with some pretty serious confidence and a points lead here in the 2025 BRL standings. Brendan Foley, one of those riders, trying to expand upon that points lead. I think Danny Spina going to be one to watch out all season as long. Been a ton of fun here for the opening weekend of the 2025 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, presented by Memphis Shades. And all of you fans watching on RacerTV.com, here's what we've got coming up soon. In just a few days, we're going to be out in St. Clairsville, Ohio for the next round of the Progressive GNCC Racing Series. So that'll be on May 3rd, approximately 2 p.m. Eastern Time for our Pro ATV race. And then we'll be right back the following day on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern for our Pro Bike race. And then we'll have GNCC Round 7 from the Hoosier in Indiana, Crawfordsville, Indiana, for our Pro ATV and bike racing on May 17th and 18th as well. Well, getting things wrapped up now. The team's starting to break down the tents, put the bikes away, and here is what we've got to look forward to in the BRL. So upcoming broadcasts, all of which are going to be shown live right here on RacerTV.com. We'll have our rounds from Hastings, Nebraska, coming up May 24th, and that'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we'll have the following day as well. And taking a look now, it'll be fun to watch each one of those rounds coming up throughout the year. We want to give a big thank you to all of us here from RacerTV.com, all of the crew over at AG Video, our executive producer, Carrie Jo Russell, operations producer, Adam Gordon, our producer, Don Hampton, our director, Jack Renner, Jack, our engineer in charge, Jordan McFadden, all of our incredible camera operators, Leah Myers, Pacho, Chandler Kaler, Bob Hand, Mark Hanf, Bradley Cantor, and Dylan Pritchett. Also, our Bridgestone live drone operator, Gabe Shull. For Dave Hollywood Dildine, I'm Zach Curran. We'll see you guys next time at the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers.